And what's up, everybody? Welcome to The Juice is Loose, number 115. I'm your host, Terminator Juice, and we have with us Mizza T. What's up?
Hey there, folks. Mr. T here. Let's get to step.
And Robert, what's up, man?
What is up, guys? It is Robert at Gaming with me, and let's do this.
And Terrell.
Yo, what's up, guys? The Insane Game Freak here. I got my sketty, so I'm happy.
Skitties?
I got my spaghetti. I
I got you now.
I like to be a jackass about dumb shit. It's okay.
I used to call it Puschetti.
It's Pusketties.
I've never called it sketty. That's just something I've recently started doing because I think that's how the New Yorkers say it, right?
I don't know.
But yeah, Rob couldn't be here tonight. He had some personal thing. I don't know if he wants me to talk about it, so he's not going to be here. He said he'll be back next week. So yeah, if anybody's wondering, and Rob, if you're listening, my condolences, man. So I hope to have you back next week, but whenever you're ready. So, all right, let's get into this. It's going to be kind of a quicker podcast, and then we'll try to get to questions since we missed it last week. I'm just going to start. I did a little Juice Opinions video talking about the PS4 Pro, how it's coming out in less than a week, and really no one knows a lot about it. Well, Digital Foundry, they do all the work that Sony really didn't tell anybody. So it's just I'm going to run down some things that Digital Foundry has come to, or they figured out. Basically, most of the games, like native 1440p, is seems to be the bread and butter, which is half of 4K, and then it upscales it. So I thought it was just going to upscale from 1080, but it actually, some of these games are getting a full jump in native resolution of 1440p, but there's no 4K TVs that display at 1440p. So I guess a computer monitor, if you have a 1440p monitor, that would be cool. But there are a few games that have some frames per second improvements, like Infamous has it's pretty much almost lock 60, and then there was another Tomb Raider has a pretty decent mode. But the thing is, it's really kind of weird. If a developer doesn't put in a patch, then the Pro turns off half the GPU, and it just runs it identical to the standard PS4. So let's say Bloodborne, which we haven't heard anything about. If they don't put in the time, put out a patch, if you just play that and it has no patch at launch, it just runs it exactly the same. Every frame drops in the same exact spot. It's basically identical, which is different from the Xbox One S, which not most, but I guess the majority of the exclusive Xbox One games are Microsoft exclusive. They get a pretty decent bump in frames per second, like 5 to 10 frames per second, whereas PS4 Pro. So it's kind of interesting. So they actually have to put out a patch to activate the enhancements. So basically, without the update, it just runs just like a standard PS4, which is kind of a weird choice. So and the other thing is, a lot of the improvements are described as slight, like something way in the background. Oh, there's less shimmering here because there's way better anti-aliasing and stuff. So it's not looking to be that really impressive for the games that are out right now. So I don't know if you guys really care, if you have any thoughts.
I'll go because I think almost every major gaming publisher put out, not publisher, but review site was putting out like PS4 review videos. Realistically, so from what I've seen, and pretty much based off of what you've said, Juice, it pretty much sounds like if you don't have a 4K TV, you get like really minor graphical fixes for like background stuff for certain games.
Yeah, and only the certain games that choose to do that, like Rise of the Tomb Raider, for example, gives you, if you don't have a 4K TV, then you have 1080p, what's called performance, and then 1080p ultra or high fidelity. So basically, the high fidelity one runs at 30 and has the best visuals they can put it to keep it at 30, and then the other one is just takes away some of the effects and some of the quality and gives you a higher frame rate. There's only one other game that does that, and I forget which one.
Is it Uncharted or Infamous?
No, Uncharted is actually one of the least improved games, which is odd since it's their flagship. It actually has the least improvement out of every game so far.
I think Infamous goes up in frame rate a
Yeah.
little. Yeah.
And these aren't opinions; these are based on analysis from.
But the problem is that even when they go up in frame rate, they're still like unlocked. So it's that same issue of where it fluctuates wildly between like I think Infamous, for example, was running between like 40 and 50, and I'm like, oh, well, hey, like, look, we got this new powerful console, and I still can't. You can lock it at like because I don't know. I think for some people, most people would agree, you rather have a locked frame rate. And instead of having one that just jumps between like maybe 10 or 15 frames, because it's like, oh, I'm spending $400 for a console that literally does not that much different than the console I already own, and it's kind of like, what's the fucking point? Or maybe that's just me, but that's what I'm getting from it. It's kind of like if you have a PS4, there's no real major reason to upgrade unless a game that you really, really like is getting this treatment. From what I've seen, it ain't that many games. Or if you've never bought one, this is the one you should get. But it's not really an interesting push.
I'm pretty like I don't believe that this is the one to get if you're buying a PS4 for the first time. Like, to me, the Slim is way more appealing at $300 with a game. You can get the Battlefield. I think there's a Battlefield one. There's another or Uncharted 4 one that's $300 for the new Slim with the game. So
even if it is slightly future proof, you don't think it's worth it?
I mean, for what they say, the improvements for on a 4K TV, they were just, even then there's like, yeah, you're getting an improved visual fidelity, but the sacrifice is there's no frame rate improvements, and you see similar drops in similar spots. Like Uncharted 4 like they don't even like try that checkerboard thing. Like, that's not even in place to go to the 4K. So it's just 1440p, and then it just does like the Wii U does for 720p. It just up converts it internally before it gets to the TV. So it's not even that checkerboard, which really the games that use that, I guess it look pretty good. So I mean, it's just a matter of opinion, but I would say if you have a PS4 and you traded in your old one to get the Pro, I would think that's pretty foolish, even unless you had like a really nice 4K TV.
I was gonna say, because I think the PlayStation 4 original is gonna hold this thing back, considering they're still trying to keep parity. And the problem is that I forget. I don't know if it was the PlayStation 4 originally, but I thought, or maybe it was the PlayStation 3. I'm thinking of when it could play PlayStation 2 games. There was like a slight graphical improvement.
Oh, there was major.
Yeah, and I thought the PlayStation 4 Pro was going to do something kind of similar to, at least, even if it wasn't like major 4K enhancements or stuff, but like even if you just threw in a normal PlayStation 4 game, they do some slight like improvements instead of it being locked behind whichever developer is like, oh yeah, we'll unlock that for you. Because some of them just kind of did one and done games that are really good, and it's like, I'm not going to fix that shit. And that's the problem. I
was surprised that it's needs a patch in order to, even for the standard 1080p, to get any kind of improvement. So I know Meza T was, he's looking to get one. I know you're talking about getting one used and stuff, but I mean, let's say you were gonna go new, is there anything about the Pro that like has you intrigued at all? Oh, I see his mic's muted. Maybe he's taking care of something. Robert, I know you already have a PS4. You don't buy your games for it anymore because you're.
Well, to me, like, I was seeing the Uncharted, how it's basically 1440p, and then it's 30, and it's like you're just buying a game for a slightly, I mean, on the new console for slightly better resolution. Like, it just, to me, it makes zero sense to buy that kind of console. I don't know.
Didn't they tout it as a 4K console? I mean,
yeah, they did.
They said it was going to be.
It's Sony lying
4K,
about lying with their marketing again.
That's not even 4K though. It's like
PS4 not quite Pro.
Oh shit!
Well, as I like to call it, the PS4 no.
Hey, wait, we got a hashtag. We got the hashtag PS4 no.
I barely care about this stuff to begin with, but I was at least expecting, 1080p lock 60 with this upgrade, quote unquote upgrade. and we're not getting that. So it's dead on arrival for me. Like I would never. There's no point in me getting it, even though I don't even have a PS4. When I do get one, it'll be the standard base model or maybe the slim. But
And one of the things Digital Foundry did point out though is like these games are out and they weren't even thinking of this when they made them. Whereas like Horizon, and they got an early chance like to start working on the pro version, and that looks like the best looking game. But so maybe some of the future games will take better advantage of it. But you think Uncharted 4, their biggest title, biggest Sony exclusive, would have gotten better than just a native increase, and then I guess the multiplayer does look quite a bit better, but I mean for $100
The
extra,
multiplayer was only 60 frames though. I don't get that.
it's 4K in the way that the PS3 was full HD. Like not quite.
yeah, and it's
Upscaled to 4K.
and we shouldn't, maybe like someone said in the comments, it's a $400 system, so 4K native, but there are a few games that actually run 4K, some old last gen games like Skyrim and Last of Us.
The thing is like some
Well, that's fine, but just don't
don't hype it as a 4K
hype
system.
it as that,
Don't.
right?
And I haven't seen any marketing for it at all. I've seen
People were calling it the PS4K, but before it came out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, people are still kind of calling it now.
It's not.
Has anybody seen any ads for it? I haven't seen any TV commercials or anything.
I haven't watched it in years, man.
Who watches TV, man?
I do.
I can't remember the last time I sat down and watched like a TV show.
Well, like
On TV,
during
like
football
regular
and stuff. Football, there's PlayStation VR commercials all the time.
I haven't seen one PlayStation VR commercial, and I watch football.
Yeah, I see a lot of Xbox One. I see a lot of
ton of Xbox One.
Well, Sony's got the whole new commercial where they show Tomb Raider, they show Call of Duty, they show Horizon, and they show of all games Destiny, and they're making it like and it's just a PlayStation generic commercial for a bunch of games.
Well, actually, speaking of Horizon, because I know that's a game you wanted, Juice.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think the improvements to that would justify buying it?
Like I said, I think that is still up in the air, but it looks like it will be the first game that really maybe looks worth the pro.
But will it matter if the game is ass?
Yeah, that's.
I'm not saying it's gonna be. I'm looking forward to that too.
But
we still don't know that, So
I'd gladly play it at the standard PS3 if it's the same frame rate. They said that graphics engine, there's no room to go up. Like they didn't design it with any flexibility with the frame rate.
See, I think that says a lot because that was one of the few games, at least that are coming soon, that was designed with kind of the PS4 Pro in mind.
Yeah, so
for not to have that, that's kind of whack.
Well, we'll see. Like if the 1080p, if it's like a lock 30, whereas the standard PS3 is like 20 to 30, that could be something to give me pause, and think maybe. But I'm really not interested in it. And then with the whole PlayStation VR box, that's HDMI 1.4, where the PS4 Pro and 4K TVs need HDMI 2, so you can't have it connected into your PSVR and get the 4K HDR. You'd have to unhook it and hook it direct into your TV. So anytime you want it 4K, you'd have to switch your HDMI cable, and then anytime you want it VR, you have to rehook it back in.
That's a fucking hassle.
Yeah, it's not very well thought out. Sony's usually pretty well thought out on stuff like that. So
yeah, it seems a little disjointed. This whole situation with the hardware dropping this fall and all the hardware.
Yeah, because you got the Slim, then you had the PlayStation VR, now you're getting the Pro, and it seems
like who the hell has all this money?
I'm getting a little overconfident. I think
it seems like they're just trying to like really beat Microsoft to the market with whatever they're new. Because
the
Xbox One S is selling pretty well.
I was gonna say being quick doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna be.
I know that's what I'm saying. That's my point. Didn't they see what Sega Saturn? What happened to Sega Saturn when they tried to do that? Like,
or when
Sega Saturn tried to do it because of the PlayStation, so they should know better.
Now let's release what we'll release is a 32X that plugs into your PlayStation 4.
Seriously.
And then you have to buy a whole new games to play.
They might as well have done that. At least it would have saved you some money.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like the PlayStation Pro development didn't talk to the PlayStation VR people, and it's like Sounds like a Nintendo situation with 3DS and Wii U, like they were, or the Wii U's operating system where there's just separate groups.
You expect that kind of shit from Nintendo, not
to me.
Sony.
That's like I wouldn't even consider the PlayStation VR if I had a 4K TV and the PS4 Pro if I'm going to have to switch the HDMI cable every time.
Well, considering the VR is already a core nightmare to begin with, that's going to make it worse.
You know, you got a 4K TV. Why the hell would I want to put on this PlayStation VR that's sub 900p resolution? You know, it just seems kind of counterproductive. But anyway, that's enough about that. There'd be some more developments, I'm sure. But it's funny. I got to rely on a YouTube channel, not Sony themselves, to figure out what the hell this thing actually, what the benefits are and stuff. So, but next I want to talk about another kind of puzzling thing. That's the NES Classic. We were talking about this. We were playing Smash on Saturday night, and we're like, "There's no pre-orders for the U.S. I haven't seen any ads for this thing. I've just seen YouTube channels talking about it." So what do you guys think of the fact that you can't pre-order it? Do you think there's going to be shortages, or is it going to be like saving it for Black Friday and they're going to have millions of them? I mean, what are you guys feeling
They're
about
playing the Amiibo game. That's what they're doing.
Nintendo don't want no damn money or something. It's like they don't want my money. I'm trying to give them money and they're not helping me do that. So
they're playing the Amiibo game. That's what they're doing. Because the Amiibo game was like a nasty rush. And it was like, oh, well, this isn't going to sell out. And then it fucking sold out. And we're like, well, I guess we're going to spend $200 on a fucking $13 toy because I can't be trusted with my wallet. And I think that's the same thing that's going to happen with the NS Mini. Because I think the demand for it is way higher than people think it is.
Mm-hmm.
And and granted, it's bullshit. You shouldn't be limiting the amount of stock for people to buy. But and then on top of that, it potentially makes them lose out on money because then scalpers will just come in there and sell a $60 one for like $400, and people will buy it. I mean, the Super Famicom version, the Japanese version, is going to sell like ridiculous, even if you can't play the games, just because of the collectability of it all. So it's BS, but they're just playing the game they already have been playing before, and it worked for Amiibo, so they're like, well, we'll do it again. Now sell the PlayStation 4 Pro because fuck that.
What do you think? I'm on Nintendo's website and it's nowhere to be found in no categories. It's just non-existent on the Nintendo main website.
I saw it's already being promoted in some store weekly ads.
But so it's almost like they didn't say limited production or anything.
No,
but it kind of feels like this is gonna they're throwing it out there. Other than their YouTube.
Why even put the shit out there if you don't care? It doesn't make any sense, man. It's the disjointed stuff I be talking about with Nintendo. They're so disjointed sometimes about stuff, and this is.
Dr. 81 just posted a video. NES Mini has mini stock, so it did not say like collectors or limited edition. Like people are gonna want this before the holidays.
Yeah, we thought there was gonna be a big thing for their holiday because they don't have any hardware to put out. So
prepare yourselves.
They did this back in '95.
No, they did this last year.
No, I'm just saying they did this back in '95 when they didn't have any hardware. They were expecting to have hardware, which I think they were expecting to have the Switch, and it kind of got pushed back. And so they put out this thing called the Virtual Boy, and it was virtually unviable.
Yeah, this is. Like, I'm not going to try that hard. If I see them in the stores,
no. That's the thing. Like, that's reason why. Well, first of all, I already have a lot of these games on my Wii U or Virtual Console and whatnot. And I pretty much have all the other ones on emulator on my computer and on my Xbox, my modded Xbox. I have pretty much the whole NES library. I wanted this because it was a cool little NES, and it has a nice little interface and it is HDMI and all that stuff. That's why I wanted it. And if you're gonna make it tough for me to find and buy, I'm just not gonna buy it because at the end of the day, I got the games already. So
yeah, I mean, it's no wonder they're not advertising it if they're not gonna have stock. And after Christmas, who cares? The Switch is coming out. Like, it's too late.
Putting your money up for that.
When did they announce this thing? Because it's been months.
June.
It's funny because they're doing a live stream for it the day before it comes out.
They don't give a shit.
There's like I think they put it on their Twitter. They're doing like a live stream. Even the Nintendo World Store in like New York, they're doing like this live stream the day like the 10th. So like this Thursday.
So it comes out like what?
Friday.
Whoa.
Like I said, disjoint it. Like
Maybe they just have a set number they're going to manufacture, and they're happy with if they sell those, it'll be good. I don't know, but you think they'd say limited edition, collector's edition?
No, it's like I told you, they're playing the Amiibo game.
who does that?
Probably.
A lot of people want this thing that you could.
Well, I wonder how many
Type it as
people actually want it though. Like, I would love to like know the number.
People
I
come
feel
up to me at work.
I feel like it's more so hype than it is like I need it. Like it's gonna be one of those. I just want it for the collector's aspect, not necessarily because I want to play the games.
But there was so much positivity coming out of the reveal, and people learned that it was coming. Like all across the gaming world, people were talking about NES Mini.
Well,
because
people at work,
it's nerd shit.
And you're gonna take that goodwill and just take a dump on it? Like, why would you do that?
because I think this thing could have sold multiple millions.
It could have, yeah.
nowadays. I don't. Maybe that's. I don't know. But the 3DS is getting a Black Friday deal for $100,
which is crazy good.
a new
Wow.
3DS with I forget what game, but it's just a standard, not the XL.
Oh, you're talking about the one with
Like a black and like
Yeah, and the black and the white
Yeah,
or
it's
the
like,
gray or something.
I don't think what game does that come with. I didn't know it came with a game.
maybe not. I thought it did, but it has a cool looking. The plates look pretty cool.
Yeah, I know. I don't understand that shit. We still haven't really gotten plates sold by themselves, Nintendo.
Well, you,
Fuck.
the
Or
Japanese
you can
ones
order
will
them from
work.
Japan. Yeah,
I don't want to do that. I shouldn't have to do that, though. That's the point.
this is Nintendo, man. You got to do a lot of dumb shit.
Yeah, this to me, this was
Yeah.
just maybe they weren't all in with this idea, or maybe they weren't sure what. But if it's successful, I'd hope that they'd manufacture more and then consider doing the Super NES one or something, because I think that would be cool. But I don't
Maybe
know.
every year they'll do
The
a
N64 one, yeah.
new one.
N64 gonna come with like 2 games.
Yeah,
Why you do that, man? That's dirty.
I didn't do that. Nintendo gonna do that, man.
Man, chill out, man.
and it looks so. The games look so clean. They look so
They
much
clean,
better.
man.
That's
Yeah.
why I want the Super NES one. If they'd have the same type of emulator, I want that. But yeah, it's kind of puzzling. I'm really not sure. I mean, on Friday I'll be out for work at like 10 a.m. I might just stop in Best Buy, or after 10 just to see. But that might be my effort that I make.
And
If
I need to know the story behind Contra. Like, what's the
I
deal?
don't know. Why can't we get the first Contra?
I bet you it's a licensing.
I never liked Super Contra. I'm sure it is, but I need to know some solid
Super C's,
information on that.
Super C is not a replacement for Contra. Like,
No, it's not.
We were trying, man. We were trying.
I mean, I only played it a few times, so I would actually put some time into that one, but I don't know. So I bought an HDMI cord too, so I could play this thing in the comfort of my couch. It was only like $12 for a 15-foot cord, but I didn't open it yet, so I can return it if I don't get a NES. But yeah, it's just weird. So yeah, let's get on to kind of the main topic, and we'll see where this goes. And then we got quite a few questions from last week we didn't get to. And yeah, so we were talking last week about the Wii U games getting ported to Switch. And I forgot to say in the beginning, like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't want any Wii U games on the Switch. Like, that's my feelings on it.
Virtual console, maybe, but
Yeah, a lot of people were saying, well, I don't want games. I'm like, I forgot to point that out. I don't want them, but I wanted to look at it from a logic standpoint and see which ones kind of made sense and which ones didn't. And that's how we approached it. So during that conversation, we were talking about, what makes Mario Kart 9, if, because there's probably not much room for the graphics to change and this and that. So I thought we could talk about, now that the Wii U went to HD, we saw a lot of huge jumps in visuals for Nintendo franchises, and some of the best looking games of all time, in my opinion. So now, what's the next step with the Switch? Are we going to see that law of diminishing returns that was a pretty popular phrase when the PS4 and Xbox One first came out? So let's start with Mario Kart, and let's kind of talk about what they could do and maybe what they will do to try to make that game stand apart. Or do you think they'll just roll with the Mario Kart 8 engine and just give it a little higher res or something? So I guess Mizati, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think because of the situation we're in, it's different. It was different before. You coming from Super Mario Kart, which was Super NES, and we didn't get another one until N64, which is completely, revolutionary system, 3D and all that stuff. So you had the wow factor from that, and then you go to the GameCube. Even though you're still in SD, there was still a pretty good leap in visuals there from N64 to GameCube. And then you go to Wii, and you don't really get that. It was definitely better visually.
Yeah, it added widescreen and
it added little things like that. And now I think we're either on par with that kind of a leap from GameCube to Wii, than we are definitely than like an N64 to GameCube or something with the Switch, because Mario Kart 8 looks gorgeous. Like, it already looks gorgeous. That is the art design for that franchise, for Mario, and there's really not a whole lot more you can do to it. Like, sure, it'll get better visually, have the effects and all that stuff, all the doodads and whatnot, but it's getting to a point where, and Nintendo understands this and the other companies don't, and they they're trying to sell you $600 consoles basically, probably coming up, to get to a point where, okay, that's definitely better. But even this generation to whatever they're going to come out with the Scorpion or whatever, Scorpio, whatever it's called. It's going to look better, but I don't think it's still going to oh my God, I got to have that. We're just in that era now where we're getting to like a zenith, if you will, of visuals. And
yeah, it's kind of like I would say like a Pixar movie, like Toy Story 1 versus 2 and 3.
Yes, perfect.
Maybe 2 to 3, because 1 to 3 is, I think, a pretty big jump, because Toy Story 1 was the first like all CG. And then maybe Metroid Prime 3 versus Metroid Prime. At first glance wasn't huge, but then when you kind of went back, like, wow, it actually does have quite a few improvements here, lighting and textures and stuff. But I agree. I don't think they need to make Mario Kart some new, like, change the art style or anything. So I think it might, out of all the games, probably have the least room for improvement. Bump up to 1080p, and then maybe I could see like some cool lighting effects, like maybe some sunshine coming through some foliage or something, some details like that. But as far as like the carts and the characters, they could keep that pretty much on par with Mario Kart 8. But and I guess I'll go to Robert. How do you feel people will react if Mario Kart 9 looks very similar to Mario Kart 8? Do you think if it's all, let's say it's pretty much new tracks and they have maybe some new game modes and the online's way improved or something, do you think the minor visual improvement would affect people's willingness to buy the game, or how do you think people would react, or Nintendo fans?
I don't know. I don't really think so, because I think we are definitely getting to that point where they are going to look extremely similar or the same. Just I think they're going to wow us through the track designs, and once we see like some amazing new track design, the new Rainbow Road, we're going to be like, oh my God, it doesn't really faze us that it kind of looks very, very similar, and it's all the carts and stuff that'll look very similar too, which is, I think it's based on the track design. However much detail they put into the track design will depend on if we get wowed and everyone else. I don't think the internet will really mind that. That's for sure. I think it just depends on the track design in the end of the day.
Okay. Yeah, that's what's the most important. But I just know that the community of gamers these days, that they might not be cool with minor improvements. So Terrell, what do you think?
I'm leaning towards what Robert's saying because I think when I look like even when I went back and looked at Mario Kart Wii and compared it to 8, yeah, 8 looks like vastly better, but it's also because they got a lot more insane about how they're handling the tracks. It was a lot more off the wall, especially with the anti-gravity. And I feel like as long as you're taking because the cool thing about 8 is also you had a lot of background details that drew light that made everything kind of pop out and stand out and look amazing. I think that's it. That's the kind of and that's how Nintendo's always kind of done. Like when you go from like Mario Galaxy 2 to like 3D World, it's the same kind of. It's not like Mario looks insanely more detailed. It's just kind of like he still looks generally the same. He just is a lot more sharper and whatnot. I think it's the same kind of thing. The level design is always what kind of made, and just the level aesthetics. I think the aesthetics will continually get better, and it will look like more and more polished with background effects and other things popping out, and not that weird shit they did in like what was that in Forza, where like all of the background crowd characters were like damn 2D images and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's more aesthetics like that.
I was just checking out to see if there's any comparison videos, and of course I found one that was like off-screen footage. But comparing like direct Wii versus Wii U on the same track, like it's the same layout, so it's nothing to do with the track design, but adding just like as a sun on Moo Moo Meadows, there's like a sunset and the clouds in the sky and the grass textures, and it does look, and it's all visual, and it really does change like how like that went from just an average track in my opinion to one of my favorite tracks.
Agreed.
And the game played better too. So I don't know. I guess I'll have to really know how when I see Mario Kart 9 for the official reveal and stuff, like to know how it would affect me. But I definitely know one thing: if it's Mario Kart 9, but it has like T just uploaded that video about talking about the Switch reveal. Like if it's says Mario Kart 9, but it's everything looks identical to Mario Kart 8, from the menu HUD, everything, like to me that's going to feel a little cheap, like kind of I'll be disappointed there. I would like them to just keep trying to push and make it its own game, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, make it its own game from presentation to every, and whether you have some great new mechanic like the anti-gravity, I don't know that they could ever
That's
top.
what I was going to ask. Do you guys think, if it's this Mario Kart 9 or Mario Kart Switch, whatever you want to call it, do you think, and if it's a completely new game, do you think anti-gravity's gone and replaced with the Switch mechanic?
No
items or
that's. No. I mean, I don't
think it's gone.
Yeah, that'd be a step back. I think.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you feel like that would be a step back?
Yes.
Any Mario Kart going forward would have to have some anti-gravity stuff.
I think they need to. I do. I think that added. Wow. And I can't think of what they could do to replace it. That would be because that just made so many more possibilities. I like the little spin boost and.
Well, I mean, I was wondering that because I think some people thought that when Double Dash into Mario Kart Wii, it's like, oh man, you took away that was cool.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I don't think so. Just because it's a part of the track design, for Mario Kart 8 anti-gravity.
Is there a Mario Kart 8 new track that doesn't have anti-gravity?
Yeah, you're talking about not
Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, not the new.
Yeah, one of all the new tracks. I think they
all have it somewhere, even if it's minimal. There's still some.
Yeah.
So I think
if you were to take that out, what would you do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go back to regular old Mario Kart.
Yeah, because I don't think you could do retro tracks without.
I mean, like a retro track.
Glider that's all new stuff. Like the glider came with DS.
I'd say Mario Kart 8 in retrospect only added like one feature.
Yeah,
actually, it took away a feature because you lost the ability to hold items. You have multiple items, and then you only really added the anti-gravity because everything else was like from 7.
Right.
Yeah, so it wasn't like I feel like anti-gravity. Now that they know that fans enjoyed it and it's a cool design for tracks, they could take the design of the tracks and get a little bit more crazy because you kind of saw that in the DLC with the the F-Zero stages, where especially like the one where it's just like a drop, like a straight drop down. I think it's Big Blue. Like they can start getting way more. The stages I feel like are going to shine in future games now because of it.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna have to have. I feel like it's gonna have to have some kind of it, like
I think you can't just make it's. We're getting away from the visual side of it now, but if it just was everything Mario Kart 8, but with better graphics and new tracks, I think, and having the two items, it still feels like, and maybe there's nothing left to add to it to improve the game. I mean, I don't know. That's what when that game first came out, one of the first things I said is, how are they going to top this?
Maybe Smash Kart.
Yeah, even making it just Nintendo Kart, but still, what mechanics would work?
You could just pull mechanics from different franchises, like have or kind of do what Sonic All Stars Racing Transformed did and add like flying sections and stuff, not glider sections, but like full on flying.
I mean, they could. I don't. That doesn't sound good to me. So, but.
Like a Zebus track where you have a Metroid, you can throw at people and it sucks them up.
Yeah,
yeah. We're about to say, I think that's why Smash Brothers is one of those games that kind of has like a very long lasting appeal, because there's a lot of ways you can play. Adding those kind of unique features for like each Nintendo IP into like Mario Kart can get full on like
the Zelda track that did rupees and made little changes there, but it didn't change the main mechanics in Mario Kart. So,
well, yeah.
So I think no matter what, Nintendo's got a tall order to try to top Mario Kart 8 with the next game. So not just from the visuals. So I guess what are some other franchises that we saw in the Wii U that potentially maybe will not make this huge leap visually on the Switch? And we don't know the Switch's horsepower and stuff. We're just kind of assuming, even if it's like Xbox One, PS4 power, I still think the Wii U was in between 360 and Xbox One, so it's a smaller jump, even if the Switch is just as powerful as the Xbox One or something.
Do you think Pikmin would look any better?
I think there's room for Pikmin and like ground textures and stuff.
I was
about to say, because Pikmin 3 was pretty fucking like amazing.
Yeah, I think there's. I don't know, like definitely they could add polygons and throw at it, because that started as a Wii game, so some of the foliage and stuff I think could see some significant improvements.
Right.
Ground textures probably the biggest one, and then that's one of the games that just a resolution bump would make not significant improvement, but it would be nice for that game just so you could really appreciate the colors and everything that game offers. But yeah, I agree. It's probably not there's not going to be a huge improvement.
The easiest one to me would be like a Metroid game, Metroid Prime, or.
Well,
similar.
We're talking about games that were already in HD on the Wii U.
Oh, that were already in. Oh, okay.
Yeah, going to the Switch.
I would say a Paper Mario.
Yeah, that's a good looking game. I can't. That's
lie. What I'm saying is that like it's such an amazing looking game that like that's kind of what everyone's. That's what everyone wanted a Paper Mario game to look like. You see those
lemons, dog? Man, look at those lemons.
That's what everyone wanted a Paper Mario game to look like, and you got it, so you can't really make it better.
Lemon, man.
I would think the next Yarn game would see minimal improvement, because I mean, even the Wii version looked pretty damn good.
Donkey Kong Country game. They decided to do another one of those.
Yeah, those. I mean, that already looks pretty fantastic.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think the next one's going to look pretty similar, because not much, nowhere else to go except change the art style. I don't really want them to, because I loved how that art style was. What about Splatoon? You guys think there's room for Splatoon? Because I first saw that Switch trailer, and at first I was like, that's just Splatoon identical. That's Splatoon. And then when I looked at it, I was like, wow, there is a lot of significant improvements to character models, to the animations, and just the overall look of the image looked way better. But
looking at it the first time, even now probably, it's not like, whoa, that looks so much better than Splatoon.
Yeah.
Still,
it's gonna be subtle stuff, I think.
Yeah.
And then the 3D Mario
off screen, so it's kind of not fair too.
Yeah, that's true. But it's like, was faked off screen, so it's better than true off screen.
Yeah.
That 3D Mario 2 didn't look leaps and bounds better than 3D World to me.
That's one that I actually was like, whoa, the first time I saw it, I thought it looked way better.
Really? Because I just played 3D World. I played some levels. Just
I don't think it looks way better.
No,
I thought it looked better because
I think it looked better because it looked different. If anything,
and it looked like it looked like a return to the adventure style
for sure.
Mario. That's what.
So, I don't think in drastically different, but then when I saw it, I knew it looked different from 3D World. And I was like, oh my god, that's probably what
3D World is so gorgeous. I mean, it's kind of hard.
3D World's so gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah, the lighting when you shoot your fireball and there's actually real lighting and stuff.
Smoke, that stuff, that smoke trail that comes behind you, all that stuff is in 3D World. So
yeah, it's gonna be. I think just like with Metroid Prime 3, maybe at first you're like, and then you play it longer, you're like, yeah, this doesn't.
Sales were like.
Then when I went back and played Prime 1, I was like, whoa, this game looks way not worse, but it looks way less than I remembered it looking compared to the 3. So
it looks like in your head, it looks like what the Dolphin emulator puts out.
Yeah.
For it to look like. It's funny. Same thing with Wind Waker. I remember thinking, Wind Waker was already gorgeous. What's it? Oh no, it doesn't look that good.
Yeah, I mean
it's the HD version. Nope.
Like I can't imagine Wind Waker ever looking better than it does in Wind Waker HD. Like there's no chance. What about the Breath of the Wild? That's definitely a Wii U game. And
that's right, man. We're gonna finally get that E3 demo.
Because that was the NX.
That was the real one, man. The realistic, quote unquote, realistic Zelda.
What do you guys think for the Switch version? Do you think your eye will be able to tell the difference without a side by side if they show Breath of the Wild? Let's say they released a trailer in a month, and do you think you'd be able to tell the Switch version without knowing it was the Switch version? If it was,
not.
Do you think we're going to be able to tell, like the visuals are going to be improved enough to notice without a side by side?
I'll put it this way: the footage they showed in the Switch trailer looks like the NX version. I mean, the Switch version, because the colors just look more vibrant.
It's also a different time of day, though. That's such a hard comparison because I've seen so many people, and it's like always like a different time of day. So the grass looks different color in every shot I've ever seen of that game because depends on the light.
It's like the video, the stuff from tree houses and all that. The quality to me is not as good as you're going to get when you're actually playing the game on your screen. So it's always hard to tell with that stuff for me anyway. The blacks aren't as black as you were going to get and all that kind of stuff, So I don't know. Like it's going to look better for sure either way. I
know it's going to look better. I'm just wondering if my eyes, because before the Switch was revealed.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to notice this. What I'm trying to get to. I was like, I don't know if because of that, I don't know if I'm going to notice it looking better.
Yeah. I told Red Knight that I thought it would be. I think it was a JIL podcast a month or so ago before the Switch was revealed, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I think the NX Zelda is just gonna be significantly better." But now, seeing what it is, I don't think that anymore. I think it's gonna be minimal.
Yeah.
But what about the next Zelda game? If we get one exclusive to the Switch, built from the ground up.
We better get one if we're going to get one this early on the Switch.
That's true. I just think I don't know where without knowing the power and all the aspects of it, it just seems to me like it'd be hard to really top that with the Switch. Maybe the generation after that.
I think they would. I think definitely because Zelda always used different art styles. I think for sure we'll be able to tell the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe we won't get something like what am I saying? Breath of the Wild scale wise or something. We'll get like a Majora's Mask of the the Switch. Maybe the graphic style would be different. What you got on GameCube, you got the cartoonier one with Wind Waker, and then you got the quote unquote darker, realistic one with the Twilight Princess. So,
yeah, and the way their production cycle went with this one, it might be the next system before, even though this will be out in the first 6 months at least. I mean, guaranteed, I would think.
And maybe we'll get like I don't think we were even thinking about all the possibilities. Maybe we'll get like a a smaller Zelda, like a Link Between Worlds type of
Yeah,
Zelda,
that's true.
because
For sure.
of the mixture of the software, houses.
That's true.
So the possibilities are like endless now.
Mhm.
I don't know why more people aren't excited about that. It's like everything you've gotten on your 3DS, basically, you're going to be getting on your NX or
That means we could have
NX.
played Triforce Heroes on the console.
Exactly.
Yeah, because so many people wanted to play that.
Yeah, but on the console, I would have played it
Both.
more.
I wouldn't play. I never played Four Swords, and I played it, but I never was interested in it.
Yeah.
Triforce Heroes
Never
was
did much for me.
dud, but so overall, just knowing the community, knowing the fickle Nintendo fans we have, do you think that's going to be one, maybe not the main complaint, but once we see the games, do you think that's going to be like the one of the main like knocks against the Switch people are going to try to find?
That's
Is
a
that
Nintendo console. Automatically had a knock against
Is
it.
that the games, the leap in visuals is going to be basically?
But I do think that, but I think it for the Switch, where it wasn't the case with the Wii U, I think that stuff won't matter as much because we're going to be just getting games. Like I said, because of the fact that you're merging your handheld with your home console here, and so a lot of that stuff you're getting on 3DS, you're going to be getting. You can be getting what's the Square Enix Bravely. You're gonna be getting Bravely Third and all this other stuff coming to your NS, and you won't care as much. Like, yeah, graphically, blah blah blah, but all these awesome exclusives are coming to this thing.
Yeah,
you won't care.
Good. I'm glad you brought up Bravely Third because they're probably not going to go all out budget wise, and
Right.
So, could that be another reason? Another knock is like taking these 3DS game engines and giving them maybe just a few improvements here and a higher resolution. Are people going to be like, why does this looks like a 360 game, but it's technically a 3DS sequel with a, not going full out with the game? I mean, you think that could potentially look bad?
I
Not
guess
so much. I think it could be stylized. Like, for example, just using Bravely Second's art style, for example. What's that Final Fantasy game that just came out on PlayStation 4 recently? Where they're essentially not even using like hardcore. I think it's like Final Fantasy Worlds or something.
Yeah, World of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, World of Final Fantasy. If anyone's seen like footage from that game, half of the characters are just chibi anime looking characters. Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal if the art styles are different because most of the games on the 3DS were pretty stylized anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like an anime game is going to
something that
both consoles. I don't think it was ever an issue, a big issue anyway.
Right.
Yeah, that's good.
It depends on that. That's what it. If you're trying to make like what's that game? What's that shooter that shooter on 3DS?
Ironfall.
I can't think of it. Ironfall. If you're trying to make Ironfall for the Switch, then you're probably gonna have trouble selling that thing, and people are gonna be like, ugh. But if you have a stylized game, a game that's not trying to do some realistic, but basically look like a cell phone game, because it's trying to be realistic, but it doesn't want to spend the budget on making it look more console. You probably won't run into problems. But I think if you're just not a person that cares for kind of smaller budget games, you probably you're gonna have that complaint anyway.
Yeah, and I don't think it'll be a complaint because there will be the main big titles with the nice visuals. It won't be just a bunch of. I mean, I'd hope it's not just a bunch of 3DS devs making 3DS
HD
games.
3DS games.
Yeah. So it's interesting. What about Terrell? I didn't really hear your thoughts. Do you think that this community that'll be a knock against the Switch? Is that Mario Kart 9 and Splatoon and stuff won't have major visual improvements over the Wii U versions? I mean, do you see that happening?
Well, as a Nintendo console, so I'm not going to have a knock against it. I could see it, but once again, I agree with T. You're getting so many games. I mean, you just don't play the ones you don't give a fuck about. Like, I mean, because people are going to knock the graphics regardless because it's considered to be weaker than the competition.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think Mario Kart 8, Mario Kart 9 look pretty similar. I don't think they're gonna be sweating that because if Mario Kart 9 runs better and looks, and you could tell, and as I say, you could tell more in the track design and little details. Like that's what sells.
Yeah.
And for something like Mario Kart specifically, that constantly doesn't show you the same thing over and over. It's not like it's like, oh man, it's not like they use Yoshi. Like for example, in the Switch commercial, they use that. Was it Yoshi's Circuit?
Mhm.
Is that what? Yeah, from the GameCube.
Yeah.
Well, that's because we've already seen that in Mario Kart 8. But if you took like take like Ribbon Road for example, that was coming from the GBA, that game looks insanely different.
Yeah.
If you're doing that kind of stuff where you're putting that level of detail into a track that was never that detailed before, fuck out of here.
I'm gonna be excited for new tracks. Like it's Mario Kart. Like eventually you get over the visuals anyway. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still, while I was watching Dashies play, and I'm still like, damn, that looks so good.
No, I'm saying when you're playing it though.
Yeah, when
like,
you're playing it, that's true. When
yeah,
you're
it's
just,
like you're just playing it, you know, and it's like
I don't
you're
know, though.
enjoying the fact that the controls are so damn tight, and it's just fun. And so,
but you're cussing because you're getting hit by every shell, and
yeah,
Look at that shade.
this
Look
is
at
a
that
boss.
shade.
This is a-
but I will say, not to boast, but since I got a higher end TV about a year into my Wii U's life cycle, I know it was right before Donkey Kong came out, so that was more than a year. Like I still get impressed when I play Mario Kart. Like I'll be playing, what's the dragon? That new track where you're going inside the dragon. Like to me, like those colors just pop so much. Like
Dragon Driftway?
yeah, I'm still in awe even today. Like even the last time I played it, I'm like, God, that looks so beautiful. So I still am caught up in it, and I'll still get it if it's Mario Kart 9. I know it's gonna be great. I just think if it's very like similar to Mario Kart 8, because it'd be the first time we got just like a game that didn't just change up everything visually from the predecessor. Because I didn't really get into Double Dash, so by the time Wii came out, I didn't really feel that there wasn't a big jump there. The last one I played before that was the DS. So, but anyway, I think that's one of the games where if it looks like almost identical, it maybe will bug me at first, but of course I'm going to get it and play it because it's going to be Mario Kart. It's going to be fun. So, but yeah, let's get on to the games. We've been crying, Wii U owners, about certain games never coming to the system and droughts and all that. But there is a benefit. It's a silver lining, if you will, and that's that we still haven't seen some of these games in HD. So there's still that wow factor is still going to happen the first time. And everybody knows, obviously, T brought it up earlier, the biggest one, and that's Metroid. So there's still going to be that the eyegasm of seeing Metroid in HD for the first time. And there's not a ton of games that the Wii U didn't have that I care about, but maybe you guys are looking for some. I have Wave Race as my other one if it ever comes back. So what do you guys think? What are some, if you want to talk about Metroid and maybe what you'd like to see them do with an HD version, and then some other game series that we haven't seen in HD yet that you'd be excited to see?
well, F-Zero, duh.
Oh yeah, forgot.
Well, we kind of seen that, man.
1080p, 60 frames.
Nintendo Land, we saw F-Zero.
Like 60 frames was on GameCube. It had 60 frames on GameCube, but they have the visuals.
Yeah, we saw F-Zero could, the Mario Kart 8 version of F-Zero, but
Yep.
I think a true F-Zero might take a different
Yeah,
art
that one's a
style.
little bit more cartoony. Yeah.
Maybe more like Fast Racing Neo or something.
Of course, Animal Crossing.
You
Oh
whore.
my
But
god!
we kind of seen Animal Crossing in HD with the Plaza.
No, but
Hey,
let me.
Amiibo
And it looks,
Festival.
Yeah, we had Amiibo Fest. What are you
Amiibo,
talking about?
I'm not counting that because that's not a real game. So
The
Ooh.
Plaza was, when I downloaded that Plaza, I looked at every single character and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Well, let me be real here, because what do you think? Like, tell me like a game that you think would compare, like Animal Crossing in HD to me. Like, it's not going to add a lot with that art style for me. I just
Right.
don't see the way they do that art style. I just don't see the HD adding really anything. What else? So, what do you think that an HD Animal Crossing would look like?
To me, it would look like I guess
the
similar to the Plaza. Similar to the
Let me look
Plaza.
at the
but
Plaza because
I think like they could try out different, almost like it's hard because it's like almost different art styles, but at the same time, like especially the grass could be different in a way. You know, it could almost have a 3D world sort of engine, and look something like that.
I'm about to watch the Plaza in 1080p. I've never seen it, so
You've never
this will get,
seen it.
Really?
this will give
I
me
was
an
like,
idea.
I didn't download it at all.
I think I have like a couple hours in there for some reason.
Jesus, because you have an obsession. That's why.
I mean, it looks better, but to me, it's not.
Yeah, it's nothing to go. Oh my god!
Just to
Well,
me,
I got a couple.
I'm gonna go. Oh my god!
Well, I got a couple of games that probably would look. I'm looking forward to seeing in HD.
Bring it.
okay.
Actually, Punch Out would look legit as hell. Punch Out, I think Punch Out look cool as fuck. The one I was obviously gonna say, and the one that people would expect me to say, is Fire Emblem, because Fire Emblem has a pseudo realistic art style anyway. So you know, you just fucking give me Ike with his HD cape flowing in the wind. Got this man running up, throwing up swords and taking down monsters. This should be looked at.
True.
It looks so good. And then obviously, because I'm gonna do it because I know Juice is waiting for me to do it. The waifu titties, man. The waifu titties.
So they had boob physics, or
Actually, well, Fates has boob physics.
well, you got a little tongue twisted there.
Well, no, it's because hey, look,
drooling over there.
hey, look, I got my water. My thirst is quenched. All right, leave me alone.
Well, let me ask you this, okay? Because I played Fire Emblem Awakening, and you know the little dialogue had just like a what do you want to call it? Like a 2D drawing of the character.
Yeah.
And then the actual battles had these really low polygon character models that looked kind of silly. Like I never.
They had no feet, man. They had no feet.
They didn't represent the great drawing of the character.
That's because you're not used to RPGs, because that happens in pretty much most RPGs.
Yeah.
That is true, but
So with the Fire Emblem Switch, would you like to see the actual character models during the battles and stuff be fully up to like the drawings, or do you still want to see like a significant difference between like super HD awesome drawings when they're talking and then the character models maybe don't have to be up to that?
no, I want the character. Well, to me, because Fates improved the character models design, I want the models to be better for a few reasons. We got to remember that the gimmick, one of the main draws for Fire Emblem is, you know, if you lose your member in a fight, then they're dead forever. And to build a connection with your crew and your warriors, seeing them like look normal kind of makes the emotional attachment easier to have. You know, when they look like fucking bricks, it's kind of like I don't think I could, like, if that's my waifu, she looks like a brick. You know what you want me to do? I'm not gonna kiss that. like I mean, that's just talking about the girl.
And first Lara Croft Tomb Raider number one polygon counts on a lot of those Awakening character models.
And so it's the same, and it's the same thing. Like you want higher res, also because you have all these cool ass environments that you see them fighting in. Why the hell would I not want that to be like rendered in high quality graphics?
And would you want them to? Because they kind of have a chibi like squattiness, like shortness to them. Do you want to get rid of that? Do you think that's just because of the 3DS limitation?
I think it's the 3DS.
I think it's a 3DS thing too. Yeah.
Because if you ever seen like Ike's games on the GameCube or the Wii, they're like fully sized models. The only thing that was different is that the animations weren't as fluid on the GameCube and Wii. Like they just walk up to you and smack you with the sword, and at the end of the turn, it's like that looks retarded.
Yeah, that was just a product of the 3DS's limitations. That's what.
And I wasn't even thinking 3DS games when I asked this question, so I was, I didn't know we'd have that much to talk about. So there's more 3DS games now that I'm thinking about. But let's, I guess, go to the next 3DS game. Would be Luigi's Mansion. We saw it on GameCube, but it still looks good on GameCube. What would the HD version? I don't know where they would take it. Like
atmosphere. I feel like it'd be more atmospheric. Personally.
Yeah,
sound design.
They're not going to go like Resident Evil visuals. So
no.
I'd love to see Luigi's Mansion PT.
That'd be awful.
But I think that could, because of like the lighting and stuff, even in the 3DS version is pretty sweet. But I think that could be like one of the more impressive looking games because the last one we saw, even though it looked good on the 3DS, it's going to be just a huge leap, and I really hope that is a launch title. A lot of people actually forgot.
Yeah.
Remember that used to be like one of the number one rumors. Now no one's talking about it.
Yeah.
Now
Nobody
Switch has
cares.
been revealed. And
Yeah, and that's the thing. That was the weird thing about the GameCube, I think, is that the freaking launch titles were never surpassed visually. Like,
yeah,
I
Rogue
don't
Squadron.
think we just mentioned, or that's definitely not Rogue Squadron. So it's just so weird for that to happen. And I think what we just mentioned on Switch would be pretty sweet, and it would be like you said, it would be a nice animation, visual kind of
It'd be very
showcase.
Pixar-ish.
Yeah.
And yeah, like that. I mean, I'd buy that. That'd be definitely a day one purchase after playing Dark Moon.
When I bought it on 3DS, I was like, "This is a console game, man. Like this should be on Wii U, probably."
Yeah.
Well, what about Star Fox? That would be
Yeah, we had Star Fox in HD though.
We don't talk about
yeah.
that.
Like, come on, let's be
It was
real.
pretty low HD.
That was like
Hey.
we passing that shit with a D quality. That's what that was.
Well, I don't think we're gonna get Star Fox because nobody bought that shit.
There was some aspects where it looked decent, but I was never wowed by the visuals in Star Fox.
Yeah, I like the Halo thing in the space, and then
that was
like inside that, I thought that was pretty
that
nice.
was pretty clean. There's a lot of detail of work that they could have added to really fill that out. But
yeah,
let's go back to Metroid here, because I'm thinking Metroid Prime. I'm thinking a 3D first person perspective, and when you land on Talon 4, when it's raining and stuff, and you got the rain on the visor, it was. Nowadays it doesn't look that impressive, but I've always envisioned this. I mean, even when the N64 was first shown and Turok, saw like the cover art for Turok, I've always envisioned like creeping through like foliage and not really knowing what's ahead, not really being able to see what's going on. And I don't know if they do that for a Metroid, but I could just see like having like a waist high like brush or something.
It's so weird that you mentioned Turok. So weird. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say,
like, to that in a minute.
I've always envisioned a game where you're like sneaking through foliage and it's like adding to the tension because you can't see really what's in front of you. And maybe there's games that have done that on PC and stuff I haven't played, but I've always had a fantasy about like creeping through like a jungle and having like this super realistic foliage and stuff. And with Turok, obviously I was thinking dinosaurs, but with like Metroid, I just imagine like them going to that level.
Yeah, I was saying that because do you know the link between Turok and Metroid Prime?
Mm-mm.
Well, a lot of
the jumping
guys from the guys from the studio Iguana formed Retro Studios.
Oh, really?
And they were having struggles trying to figure out what to do with Metroid. They were started on the N64. Obviously, there was that one little room they built in their little mock-up or whatever. And they, when they got to the GameCube, they decided, let's go back to Turok style because Turok was so well received. And if you think about it, there's a lot of elements from Turok 64 that are in Prime, like with the platforming and the overall atmosphere and all that stuff. They brought a lot of that. The Iguana guys that formed Retro. I forgot what I was watching when I just recently saw that. I was like, oh yeah, that's very true. That makes a lot of sense. That game feels, especially like the first level, like when you first got off your ship, that area, that felt so much like Turok to me. Thinking back or whatever. But yeah, I mean, obviously, Metroid would be a great showcase piece visually. Something we haven't seen from Metroid, at least in HD and stuff. And I don't know. I think they could. We're thinking in Prime aspects, as far as.
What about the other M, man?
But yeah, I'm saying they could totally like.
The other M look good.
Do some other M stuff to us, like.
The other M look really good. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, they could. I mean, that game had other problems in how it looked and stuff, but. At least for some people really like it. And there you
I don't hate it.
I don't speak
fight
on
you
it.
over it.
I won't. I I'll bite my tongue there.
But yeah, gameplay wise, I mean, this doesn't have to be a prime game. It doesn't have to be a first person, at least first person all the time
Mhm.
kind of deal. It could totally be third person and do all like because the GameCube one was gonna be third person. So
I don't really want a third person 3D game.
Really? I'm
that
the
feels-
opposite.
That feels
Well,
like
no, I don't mean
Yeah.
like the entire time, but I'm saying they can totally do some stuff. Well, like we did the morph ball. You know, you have morph ball sections, and you can have the same thing with the
you could have 2D non-morph ball, side scrolling. But
right.
I guess thinking of Bayonetta 2, and I mean, it wasn't the same, but I was always worried about going 3D with Metroid and just having control issues and stuff. But Bayonetta 2 with the Samus suit when you get in the morph ball and stuff. It could be done. So I guess I trust that they do it right as long as Tecmo's not making it. I would probably be excited, but
Wow.
Think of like I was gonna say, think of like Halo, where it goes. You can do some third person stuff in there. Yeah, third person
in
stuff
vehicles and stuff.
and vehicles and yeah, that kind of thing.
I was like, because personally, that's half the reason why I don't play. I haven't played the Prime games. I can't stand first person games. I hate
Oh, really?
that. To me, it's just bad design. But that's another thing I'll talk about later.
Bad design in Prime.
No, I can't. I mean, bad design, first person. I just don't like first person, especially because of the way Metroid is like an action adventure game. I feel like being in first person takes away from my confidence in how I plan out like my jumps and stuff, and like in platforming sections. Like I feel like you're taking away for the sake of immersion. I can't see where I'm going, and like I'll miss a jump because well, my face looked like it was close enough, but it wasn't. Like to me,
they designed the platforms so that you didn't
pretty good. It's
really
pretty.
have that problem. And then if you had the Wii motion controls, you could look down really easy while you jump. But I get what you're saying. They designed the game well enough that there was only a few times where like, damn it, I missed that jump. It wasn't crucial.
I had those same apprehensions too. I'm like, well, there's a lot of platforming in Metroid. How are they going to put platforming in the first person game?
Double jump, baby. That double jump
saves the game. It totally saves it.
Well, yeah, I was like, because it's not like I'm calling any of those games bad. It's just more so a personal thing I have about first person games in general.
Yeah.
But either way, I can't wait to see Metroid in HD. And
He's talking about the Zero Suit, by the way, folks. Don't let him lie to you.
I've already seen that in Smash. So I mean,
you want a high quality one.
That's still pretty high quality.
It's all right.
Realistic. You want a more realistic?
Yeah. No, that's Terrell just
jiggle physics.
projecting his perversion on me.
No. See, mine's is anime bitches. Yours is fucking sexy blonde girls.
Mine's real women.
Yeah, exactly. You and
I got a problem.
You're 3D pigs and shit. I don't like that crap.
All right, so we got Fire Emblem's a big one. Metroid, Wave Race. Obviously, we talked about Wave Race 100 times. I mean, come on.
Please.
It doesn't have to be super realistic, like art style, but just think of that, how the water could look. And
I don't want a realistic art style. Dude,
No.
The GameCube art style was just fine.
But it would be sweet, take it to the next level times 10. Do like the Mario Kart 8 treatment would be. I don't think they'd put the money into it, but what about since Mario we've got at launch, we got New Super Mario Brothers U. It was basically, even though the game was all new and there's a new power up and stuff, the visuals, even though they look clean, I think there's some pretty big room for improvements for a 2D Mario game.
Dude, I was gonna say I would love to see, because Nintendo's getting into movies and stuff. I would love to see like a Super Mario Brothers 4 like reveal in a movie or something. Like, oh snap, they're making a 4, and reveal it that way and have this cool, really cool new art style to it. Get away from that new Super Mario Brothers crap, and just give us Super Mario Brothers 4. Like that. I think that would bring back people who stopped playing video games, who used to play back in the day. Like, oh man, Super Mario Brothers 4? Like, they'll understand that sequel,
Yeah, I think you're talking about having a Wizard 2 movie.
Well, not Wizard 2. No. I just said a reveal in a movie. Not like the Wizard. Not the movie being like the Wizard.
Power
I mean the
Glove
reveal.
2.
That movie was utter garbage. That movie has no redeemable qualities except for the fact Mario 3 was revealed in it. That movie's terrible.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's
Mario
terrible.
3 was revealed in that?
Yeah, that's when it was
You probably
revealed.
never seen The Wizard, and you'd love it. I'm sure, Robert.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't think he would love it. It's
No, I think you will.
it
I
is
think he
so
would.
it's just boring and just stupid.
I always liked it as a kid. I haven't seen it as an adult.
Okay, watch it again. Watch it now. Watch it
Now
now
I'm
and tell me
tempted to
that
watch that.
it's
I'm gonna
just
find that Power
stupid.
Glove quote from The Wizard.
Oh, the Power Glove. It's so bad. Yeah, that movie is so bad.
But that was cool, even though somehow he knew how to get the warp, like how to get
Yeah.
the flute and stuff. You know, like
just out of nowhere. He just knew it because he's such a great gamer. The plot was just stupid.
but that was cool for a young kid to see. And he says it's so bad.
Yeah,
He's
that's what I
talking about
said.
the
It's so
Power Glove.
bad. That's what I was saying. I wasn't talking about the movie, even though the movie's bad.
Oh, that's what I thought you were
was
talking
saying
about.
the quote.
Movie.
No, I
So-
was saying the quote. It's so bad.
He's got his
I remember that. It's burned in
cheap
my brain. I
sunglasses.
don't know why.
He's got cheap sunglasses. Robert, watch that clip.
The Power
Real quick.
Glove. It's so bad.
Oh, I think
So
I got
bad.
the right clip. Let me see.
That's so weird.
Oh,
It's
you
so
got to
awful.
jump to like 50 seconds into it. The thing doesn't even it looks ridiculous now. Like the tech and everything looks. It's so
No,
sad.
it's
Has
bad.
anybody, off topic, but has anybody seen the commercial for that Star Wars watch thing that works with the BB-8 toy? And it does basically nothing. And they have this commercial, these kids like using the Force, and it just like makes one little sound effect. And it's super expensive. It's like $100 something.
Hey, man, they got to pay George Lucas back, man. So
And
they're
that's
gonna
what
do-
the Power Gloves remind me of. But anyway,
This is so
Um,
cheesy. He goes like, "So, are you the wizard?" What?
But the Power Glove was pretty functional. Well, I don't want to say functional, but
You're a liar.
It was usable in a lot of games.
what was all those
Like
buttons?
you could use it in Super Mario Brothers. It was horrible to do that, but you could do it. So it at least had uses.
So Dylan says he watched it a week ago. He's in his 20s and he loved it. So there you
Nah,
go.
man.
I think Robert loved it.
Nah, man. I don't believe you.
Retro
Wow.
Death. Retro Death.
Man's a savage.
Retro Death just said something about
Retro
Skyward Sword that I'm gonna pretend I didn't see it.
Richard W. dropped some bombs.
Yeah,
on you.
just quit. Please quit. Giving your opinions on games that I love.
They're usually on point, but he'll drop some bombs at you
Yeah.
once in a while.
So anyway, any other?
Other M's better than Prime too.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. Any
That
other
kind of stuff.
Nintendo franchises we haven't seen in HD that would potentially be on the Switch? That
Kid Icarus.
yeah, I mean I didn't play Uprising, so I don't really.
He wouldn't have
Uprising
blocks
again.
for hands, man. I want fingers.
You don't want hand cramps?
Again, that's another game that's
Yeah,
a
it is
console
true.
game to me. That should have been on Wii U or something.
And Monster Hunter too. That's not Nintendo, but it's exclusive. Monster Hunter. in
No,
HD.
because we've had Monster Hunter on the Wii U.
Yeah, that's in
Yeah,
up-res. That's up
Well,
res.
yeah, it was
That's
up-res
not-
from Wii.
Yeah, that's not full on.
We tried, damn it.
I think because what they do with like the animations of the creatures and the creature designs, I think that could look just amazing.
Yeah, it could.
And what did somebody say right before you said Kid Icarus? Anything else? Then we're gonna get to the questions here. I don't want to forget something like major and feel stupid.
It's gonna happen.
Eternal Darkness. I mean, I don't think because Nintendo doesn't make that. That's gonna be that idiot Dennis Dyack. So I don't want to know.
I guess Pokemon, that'd probably be one.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think it's gonna make that much of a difference
I
personally.
don't
I'm just
know what they
saying.
would.
Oh, I think that'll look.
I remember the first time I played Pokemon Stadium, my mind was blown.
That was a beautiful moment.
Like that was crazy.
Although some of the animations are horrifying.
Right, the animations aren't that great, but are we gonna get that feeling? I don't know.
Probably, I don't know, man.
I
I don't know, man.
Pokemon
You gotta remember,
mine.
I've been starting. I'm still getting used to seeing 3D models in mainline Pokemon games.
That's true.
That's a newish feature. That shit, they didn't start doing that until 2013.
That is true. That is
It
true.
was
So yeah,
ridiculous.
I think that will be like a wow moment when you see that.
If they
Yeah.
like really went in with it, the game engine and
The
everything.
Pokken tournament kind of takes a little bit away from it, but
Yeah,
it's
but
true.
Pokemon Tournament's kind of a more, I don't know how I would call that.
I'd
Not
say, well,
realistic. It just seems a little bit more grittier than it probably should be.
hmm
yeah,
Yeah.
that's why it's so gorgeous. I think. I don't
No,
know.
I fucking love that game.
But I will say I was looking at the Animal Crossing Aurora Plaza, and it looks clean, but the character models, you could tell it was just more of an up-res from the 3DS with some lighting
Which
and
is why
stuff.
you can make like
Yeah, I think-
some
But
nicer
it does look
textures
pretty
on
good.
them.
What I'm saying, it does look pretty good. So I mean, it's the way like the shadow from the tree was on the ground looked.
it's
Looked nice
probably
and
from
clean.
the Wii or GameCube. Actually, I would say.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I could see that looking better.
And I think, listen, Smash Brothers with that CGI, how they always do the CGI cutscenes, and then
looks
they
so
show the
good.
gameplay. Let's be for real here. When they eventually get to that CGI quality, what they do, I mean, that's just gonna look crazy insane.
I don't know though, because you got to keep the characters looking kind of
Yeah.
like their source material. So I don't.
And then
know.
there's the frame rate. You're not going to get it to look like that because of the frame rate.
Well, eventually, but I don't mean now. I mean eventually.
Well, even on this, I don't think the Switch version.
No, I meant
look.
for those that look the way they look, they have to be at 24 frames. They have to be at like a lower frame rate to get that kind of cinematic look on those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to get
but I'm
60
yeah, but if
frames.
you still
You
see
meant the
the
character
actual
models.
like
It's gonna look
models,
weird.
I mean,
And yeah,
the
I know what you're
models
saying. It's just going to
themselves.
look weird because I don't know. The frame rate will not fit the animation. If that makes any sense, I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't know that they need to turn Smash characters into like super high res, high polygon. Like I don't know. For some characters, it would probably look cool, but it'd be interesting to see.
Man, listen, it took Kirby like 3 games to start looking like a circle. All right, we're just trying to get to that point. All right, shit was so stupid. I don't think it was until like Brawl where Kirby and Pikachu start having like real.
Dude, what about Kirby? You know?
Yeah, Kirby.
I don't know. I was
still haven't had a
Rainbow
HD
Curse
Kirby
looked
technically.
pretty amazing.
Yeah, I don't. It depends on the art style.
I think
looked
Rainbow
amazing?
Curse looked amazing.
Yeah, well, it does. Yeah, it does.
But
Yeah,
it didn't
but
play
it's
like
not-
a Kirby.
it's not-
But
Yeah, it wasn't like it's not a traditional Kirby game.
if they made a traditional Kirby game with that art style, I think
Yeah,
it'd be
like
great.
the 3DS ones mixed with that. Oh my god! Oh my gosh!
Just give me an adult mode where I can actually where it has some kind of challenge, and then
Wow,
I'll be interested.
it's like you don't know what a Kirby.
It's like you don't know what a Kirby game is.
Well,
Yeah,
they
come on
can,
now.
they can have the normal setting be the easy mode, and then give us something for the people want a little challenge. I don't know.
Play something else, man.
That's
Kirby
I'm
ain't
gonna
about
have
that.
to. I definitely
Kirby
buy-
is about
That's
Kirby
why I
is
like.
not Yoshi's Woolly World. It's not that kind of a setup. It's just
Let's
a
be real.
different
I
type
don't
of
think
thing.
people were expecting Yoshi's Woolly World to be as hard as it was.
I mean, I was. but-
Probably not. Well, once we learned, but
It's like you gonna learn today, boy.
So Robert, what did you sent this link? That's how you want the characters to look, and
Imagine seeing that right. You know, when he says,
Of course you would pick. Of
trailer.
course you would pick. Fucking
you
dog.
fucking Master Race PC motherfucker.
Jesus Christ!
"What
just-
happened?"
damn.
He just cares
Imagine
about
what it looks like
visuals.
that. That'd be
Oh,
incredible.
yeah, the whole half of this conversation was about visuals. Shut
I
up.
know, but
Do I smell Rezo ho?
the thing is, though, like
We're
once
talking
you
about
go into
seeing characters in HD. Chill out.
once you go into the 2D perspective, then it still looks like Smash, and I don't know how much. get
No,
what
I
you're
know,
saying.
but imagine when they eventually get there. I mean, that'd be that mind blowing tip point where you're like,
Yeah.
that's it. You just can't get better than that.
It won't be on
One,
the Switch.
with one of
Yeah.
one.
Visuals have still improvements to come for sure. It's just I think that the fidelity, like the animation and all that kind of stuff, you can add to, but I think the wow factor is going away. I think that's like from generation to generation. That's
Yeah,
going to be
'cause-
the difference. Yeah, if you go from like let's say 2 generations from now and you look at what we have now, you'd be like, whoa, that's a big difference. But I think, those steps in between are not going to be like, wow.
It's like incremental updates,
Right.
basically.
Yeah, I don't think the Switch Smash, an exclusive Smash game, is gonna be to that level. But I mean, I will say, I'm watching this clip, and Donkey Kong and Diddy, obviously, there's way more room for improvement. But like Duck Hunt and stuff looks pretty awesome, even in Wii U
Duck
version.
Hunt's one of my favorites.
So-
Oh, yeah,
It's
definitely.
because of the fur, man. It's the fur.
But yeah,
Fur-
Donkey Kong looks like trash. It looks terrible.
Exactly. Like it's like he's got multiple layers outside of him. It's weird.
GameCube model.
It's terrible. All right, so somebody posted some. Oh, someone said Juice 100% any Kirby game. I already did Rainbow Curse, and then
That's not a Kirby game, man.
That's a fake ass Kirby game.
Yoshi's Epic Yarn. I was 100% through the third or fourth world, and I was just so bored. I stopped playing it.
Kirby's Epic Yarn, you mean?
Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Yeah, I like Kirby's Epic
He
Yarn a
said
lot.
Yoshi's. He said
That's
Yoshi's
a
Epic
boring
Yarn.
as fuck game. No bullshit.
Yeah, it was boring. So the
I
first
just
one was
like it
tough,
because
though. I
of-
will say the NES one's pretty challenging.
Oh, the Super Nintendo ones
I
are
think
not.
it was Dreamland 3. I played through that, and it was so easy. I don't think I ever died necessarily. I just kind of walked through every level. I was like, hey, I'm on top of a
you don't
hamster
collect
right now.
stuff, though. You just beat levels. You don't.
Yeah, that's boring. That's what's boring.
That's the one thing I found kind of weird. Is like, Robert, you don't collect anything, but you also play Animal Crossing, which is essentially a game where you collect
About
shit.
collecting and
Yeah, you play Yoshi's Woolly World and like you just move on. I'm like, I gotta find all 5 of these damn. yarn balls.
The only thing I don't do that for is like 3D Mario games. That's the one that I
Here's the
100%.
problem. That's why.
But anyway, we
Donkey
gotta-
Kong Country games. Yeah.
move on to the
Let's
question.
get to the questions here. These are from mostly from last week. There's a few from this week.
Let's go. Let's do it.
So Brownie asked if they make the 4G service for the Switch, which company would be good for it? I don't want it to have 4G. I'm not paying. But
Verizon be the
You
best.
already have it. It's not a big deal.
yeah, if you have a phone and then you just turn on a little hotspot there, and then you hook your Switch up to it with Wi-Fi.
I was like, but Verizon in terms of quality would
Pay
be the best.
$10,000 a month for that. Yeah,
Didn't,
Verizon is the
Vita
best.
did that too,
AT&T
didn't
is
it?
the worst. What's that?
I said the Vita did that too, didn't it? Had
Yeah, it had,
a phone
something.
service.
3G or something. All right, the game idea guy. Are you getting tired of people putting rumor information in their titles for videos and articles?
Yes.
Then he says, I mean, I'm not even questioning the validity of the rumors, but when someone titles them with rumors, they are quite possibly spoiling something. Yeah, I actually had to call OJ back with Smash before we knew all the characters. He puts right in the title, like, I forget which one it was.
Probably was Duck Hunt, actually.
Shulk.
Duck-
Shulk
Oh.
and somebody else. Like, Shulk's revealed in Smash, like, in the title. Like, what if I didn't want to know that spoiler? Like, what if I'm waiting for Nintendo to release?
Asshole.
Maybe you shouldn't subscribe to Player Essence then.
Yeah.
Stop
So,
subscribing
yeah.
to Player Essence. They don't need your subscription.
I think that's a dick move if you do that. What do you
Get
guys
your
think?
clicks, bitch.
Caught me off guard. I wasn't ready for that.
I think the proper thing to do is Smash Brothers rumored character, and then you can click on it if you want.
Did he put a picture of Shulk in the thumbnail?
Yeah.
Put like
Piece
a
of shit.
question mark.
It's like Switch, 4 gigs of RAM, and launch date March 17th. Like,
Somebody wanted to rip my head off because I said the name of the final boss in Darksiders 2 5 years after the game came out. It's like, okay, bro, all right, I'll just put final boss. Damn,
Yeah, but I was like, you'd be surprised on how salty people get.
they get
Yeah.
upset.
Actually, that's what
So-
pissed people off about Shadow Fox. He did one of his Shadow casts, and he has like the final boss from Xenoblade Chronicles X playing in the background. You're just like, what the fuck is this? Why
Yeah,
would you do that?
yeah, that's not great. All right,
I
little
just put his name. Like, why would that be a problem?
Yeah, it's blasphemy. You're chill out with that shit.
All right, next question. Little Cray to the Bone. Do you think the Miis will evolve from Wii U to the style of Miitomo?
Yes.
I mean, I don't. How much more evolved are they? Like, I'm trying to think.
They're-
They have I think Miitomo, you have arms and stuff, right? And like,
Yeah, they're a lot more fleshed out. No pun intended.
What do you guys think the
Yeah.
chances of Mii's not being on the Switch?
That's what I'm saying. I find that weird because
About
Mii is
2%.
technically Wii though. You know what I
No,
mean? Like,
Kami could just be like your Xbox Live avatar. Ain't
Me
Yeah,
has,
but, like,
has moved
don't you
on from Wii.
the name? Like, I don't know, man.
we could just
Mii-
call it a Switch.
It would be weird to have the Mii spelling
the
that's
double
just
I,
like
you know what I
Wii
mean?
on the Switch.
They could just call them something else. I mean, they're
They
gonna
could call it like your
mother.
man.
be.
Mims.
Oh God! Stop it!
So yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see what they do because even like Xbox, I don't know on Xbox One if you create a 3D avatar. I still had mine on my 360, but it doesn't get used for anything anymore. So if you could just create like an image, like turn your Mii into an image or something, and then just I don't know. I don't think we really need Mii's in anything.
Yeah, about
You don't really need a 3D Mii unless they got something up their sleeve that you're going to be using.
Well, what
a lot.
about like your Mario Kart?
mean, well, think
racer
about
or
it,
Smash
considering
the
Bros.
Mii's out.
Fighter?
Well, I'm about to say, considering the Switch, I mean, considering the Switch has been in development for at least over a year, and they put out games like Miitomo still.
Yeah, Miitomo.
I don't think the Mii name is dying.
Right, I don't either. Miitomo has nothing to do with Wii. And
Which
it's still
is weird
Mii's.
to me.
It's
I
still
just
Mii's
find
in
that
there.
weird.
And then you got Miitopia that's coming out in Japan. I don't think they're not getting away from
Mii's aren't going anywhere. It doesn't have to.
Call them Mize or something. I don't know.
No, that's.
But if they're not going anywhere, that doesn't necessarily mean guarantee they'll be part of the Switch. I don't know.
What is the ass hurtery when it comes to Wii stuff that has to do with the Wii? I don't get
I
it.
have a big Wii, man. That's all I'm
Because I
trying
thought
to
they were
say.
just trying to get
Rick
away.
Knight said it
with
in his
you know?
last video too. I was like, yeah, you're right. Why do people
Yeah, I mean,
so ass hurt about the Wii?
it's just weird that
Because we
Nintendo
don't like the
themselves
Wii.
said
That's
that
real.
that
Nintendo's most popular console of all times. Oh my god. Don't put
they
anything
did say
from that
that
in it.
their next system wasn't gonna be any like I don't know how they worded it, but
It just said
basically
it wasn't going to carry
Well, there are
the
people who are
mantra,
still hoping
basically.
that people are still hoping that screen isn't touchscreen for some dumbass reason.
That's weird.
yeah. I
Hope
don't
it's
know.
not.
Stupid. Yeah, they
Yeah,
hope it's not
What the hell? Why would
Because
you
they-
hope it's not?
because it
they're
reminds
stupid.
them of the gamepad. That's
Because
why.
they're fucking insecure vaginas. That's why.
Can we
But
can
for
we
me-
bring that mixtape back, T?
I might have to, man.
I'm just talking about the Mii's. First of all, they have no function like in the OS or anything to me anymore. Like they mean nothing to me.
Well, they never did.
Other than in Smash, in Mario Kart, you could use your Mii. That was
Are you
really
sitting there looking at your Mii's like, man, fuck these Mii's. They remind me of the Wii too much.
no. It's just at this point now, it's just a still.
He's just sitting there, me mugging the shit out of his me. Now I don't fucking like the way this thing looks. Fuck this hairstyle, man. I don't
I
even
hate
wear
Mii's.
this
I
hair
hate
like
little
this.
kids. I hate all this
Pedophiles
shit.
in
I
this
do.
bitch.
No, but seriously, like your profile is just a 2D photo of your Mii on Miiverse now. It's
Yeah, what's the big
not
deal?
a 3D Miiverse. We're just answering the question. What
No,
do you-
I'm just saying to these people, what's the big deal with that? Like,
But what about the Wii parties? And
that stuff's done.
yeah, that's done.
Wii Party, Wii Sports.
You won't see me party either. That
well, there might be Switch parties and
oh man.
or Switch Sports.
But let's stay on
That's
top
how this
here.
questions thing gonna go. It's gonna go.
Yeah, I was trying to answer his question of the evolution of the Mii, and they're just 2D things now, and I don't know if maybe that's the way they'll just keep it going that
They're
way.
3D and Miitomo. So
It's true. But
we'll see. We'll see.
all right, Malik JC. Realistically, how long will the Switch's third-party support last?
Year and a half.
I think it depends.
I think it'll last as long as the Switch lasts.
I say the full life cycle. That was my answer.
Yeah.
I like to undershoot it so I can be pleasantly surprised.
Well,
But
it doesn't
I just
say
wanna
full
say-
support.
I have a video on this, by the way. I just want to say real quick.
Hey, look at you, shameless plugging and shit.
Yeah, I gotta pull up a video. Don't be surprised. Don't start crying if the Wii. Here we go.
Look at what you're doing.
If the Switch is closer to the Wii than it is to the GameCube. I think it's going to be, as far as third-party support and the type of third-party support, I think it'll be closer to the Wii. than the game. That's my theory.
Which is
We'll have
good
to have
though, because you
that's a
get the
topic
Call
for
of
another
Which
Duty.
is good because, again, I think the Wii destroys GameCube. now.
D,
And I'm going to put that video.
We can't have
Topic
that.
for another day. Topic for another
That's
day.
put that
Wii
video out there,
propaganda
too.
he's spreading out there, folks. Get this man of 360. He's losing his mind.
That's definitely a topic for another day because I have thoughts.
Yeah. Well, I got a video that's gonna destroy all that nonsense. But go ahead.
Next question from Little Cray: do you think the dock will be sold separately as an additional dock for home? Huge missed opportunity if they don't.
It could be.
Maybe, yeah. Why
Because
not?
that makes sense because the dock could be cheap and you could have it setting up and like I could have it set up at my parents' house or something and when I go visit and just dock it there and not have to bring the dock with me.
Everyone else say, "Hey, Mom, I'm just gonna leave this in the living room. Don't worry about it."
So,
Beginning that the dock should be sold separately, and it'd be nice to have some,
I don't think it'll be at
colors.
launch though. If I had to be
No, not at launch, but eventually, like not the first 3-4 months, maybe.
do you think it'll be in stores or just on Nintendo's website?
I think it should be in stores, but who knows with Nintendo because they're nuts. So.
Like I wouldn't buy one, but I could see why someone would want one.
I would totally get one.
Like you could have I could have it downstairs and I could be playing on my 82-inch projector screen or something, and then
Yeah.
like what, it's not.
How much would you think it would cost based on what the ports we have seen?
I think they'd sell it
$50.
separately, probably $50.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that's decent. That's not a bad price, I don't think.
All right, so game idea guy. I didn't pre-read this one. It's pretty long, so let's see. Do you think that there will be a docked-only games and handheld-only games? That's a good question.
Great question.
I don't. I think every game's going to be.
I feel like that defeats the purpose of the console.
Yeah,
there's definitely there could be touch-only like benefits to when you're in portable, but
Yeah.
I don't. There's definitely no docked-only games. I think that goes against the whole reason for the
idea.
Switch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because then you're forcing people to take it off the dock if they don't want to at home. Just to play some touch games.
That takes away from the option you're being presented.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think that would be a bad idea, and because it's going to be
I
lower
only use my
res.
big TV screen. Why I got to look down at this?
Yeah, except for
I got tiny hands. I can't do this.
unless it's PlayStation VR, then I don't care about looking at my TV because
Because I can't see it because
I'm in the
looking
game.
through a
I'm in the
headset.
world.
But a game that would work really well with that would be Kirby's in a Rainbow Curse.
10 out of 10.
Mhm.
Best game ever.
Yeah, there might be touch only.
Well, they might not just have
mini.
remember they have that rumor just saying of the pointer for the right Joy-Con.
AKA the Joy-Cons being like
I don't like
analog.
that at all.
I don't think that's going to be able to replace touch
Yeah,
direction.
But it gives an option. Just saying.
It's
really
another
crappy
option
one
that you can play your games, guys.
with a 1-inch controller.
Are you against options? Is that what you're telling me? You're
Oh, yeah.
against options?
Let's talk about that real quick because I see just about everybody, mostly people that were hating on the Wii U, but talking about how, oh, look at how sleek the Switch is. It looks so much more comfortable. It's going to be way more. I could be able to play games on that and not have to worry about
Where do
discomfort.
you hear this stuff, man?
And
So-
I'm looking at that thin thing with no grip at all to it, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, there's no way it's gonna be more comfortable than the gamepad. What do you guys
It's
think?
not gonna sit in your hands unless you got
Oh, so you went
unless
into a
you got
completely
Donald
different
Trump
direction.
hands. You might have Donald Trump hands. So
I'm sad because you just went into a completely different direction than I thought it was. I thought it was going to be like, look at these insecure faggots worrying about whether their Nintendo console looks slick enough or cool enough to be shown in public and shit.
Well, that's
First
a
of all,
whole
I
nother-
don't use the F word because my brother's a homosexual, so I don't appreciate that word. But anyway, you didn't know that.
Well, I mean,
no.
I didn't mean it in like a.
Yeah, I don't. That term doesn't. It's kind of like pretty offensive for my
Well,
family.
okay, I apologize then.
That's all right. You didn't know. Just letting you know. But anyway, no. Those look slick and cool, but it's specifically people are saying that it won't be bulky and uncomfortable like the gamepad, and I just think that's ridiculous.
yeah,
Robert?
it's just bullshit.
Robert plays exclusively with the gamepad, so
Yeah, I'm
blasphemy.
always playing with the gamepad, and I think it's my favorite controller of all time. Even I mean, a lot of people disagree, but hey,
I think people. I think I'm about to say. I think some Nintendo fans be like, "Hey man, what about the
you crazy.
absolutely
GameCube? What
love
about
it.
the GameCube controller?"
And I think the GameCube controller feels great also,
That
but I
thing's
just
tiny.
like the gamepad, and it just, if you see it's so flat in the back for the Switch, I think it. I mean,
think the
it's
Switch
so hard
is
to
going to be.
It's gonna be like holding a freaking
Vita.
or
Tablet?
not even that, a tablet in your hand. Like, is a tablet more comfortable to hold than a gamepad? Hell no. You're lying if you say that.
Yeah, there's no grips. There's no like roundness or at all to those Joy-Cons, from what I could tell.
Oh, yeah, I don't think
There's a
there is,
little bit
right?
of a lip coming
A
out.
little bit, but not.
Much. Just to keep it from sliding out of your damn hand.
Yeah, because if there was like a round in the back, when you're holding it in multiplayer style, you'll have a giant back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
it's like,
so they try to make it a
it's
balance.
wider than the gamepad, so it's like longer. Like, so to be, if anything, it's even less comfortable with that, because that's one of the things about the gamepad is like the sticks are so far apart, it just feels weird or weirder when you play with it to some people. But that is even further apart because it's like longer. The screen is like wider, so
And
it's
with
flat.
the right stick being lower, that could actually cause even more discomfort on the Switch.
Yeah, it does bother me the way it looks. Anyway, I haven't held it, but it looks
it's
awkward.
I don't know. I just I've heard more than one person saying that lately, and I'm just like, I just don't get that. It's like, you didn't hate the Wii U that much. I mean, people are laying on pretty thick, acting like the Wii U and the gamepad was just such a bad thing.
Was the gamepad bulky? Yes, but it's still more comfortable because of that bulk. That's what makes it more comfortable.
I was surprised looking at it. Like, man, I don't remember it having this much grip to it, like on the actual sides. Like, there's some meat there, and
I really think it's just because of the aesthetics. It doesn't look like a kiddie-looking console, so they're like,
I think you're right on that. I think it's all about that.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a toy. It doesn't look like, what's that toy they try to
compare? It looks like a grown-up gamer's console, guys.
They try to say it's like Fisher Price stuff.
That Fisher Price.
Yeah.
People are crazy, man.
Man.
Humans.
Crazy. So let's get back to the questions here. The River Anduin, I think that's from Lord of the Rings, if I'm not mistaken. What do you think of the rumor about trading in the Wii U version of Mario Kart 8 for the Switch version? That's humorous to me. Like, there's no way they're going to try to pull that off. I don't know if you guys heard that. I forget
what happened. I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Someone, a leaked or rumor, I forget who said it, that the Mario Kart Switch version is just an enhanced Mario Kart 8, and they're talking about trying to work with like GameStop and stuff for trade-ins to like get you can buy it digitally so you could get the Switch version for minimal price. And I'm like,
it's one of the worst rumors I've ever heard in my life.
So you don't want, you're going to trade in your Wii U copy for the Switch version, and then then your Wii U is just completely worthless from now on because all your games are gone.
Why would you do that?
I can't even comprehend how someone think that's like possible.
I guess they put a lot of thought into it. There's some intricacies there.
Guess how many?
It makes no sense, but
how many copies is it? 8 million Mario Kart 8. I would say 500,000 to 1 million, maybe digital. So you're still looking at over 7 million. You're gonna trade all those copies, and
GameStop says, "Yeah, bring those on, bring them on."
Yeah,
let's make it happen. Let's make a deal.
And then you get the Switch version for $20 or whatever. Like, come on, what
is GameStop gonna give you? Like $2 for that?
They're talking about like you barely will have to pay anything for the Switch.
That's a complete lie to begin with, because GameStop ain't having that. So
they're gonna get that money.
They gonna get that money, son.
You might have bought it from fucking Amazon, like
right.
It makes no sense, and I'm sorry, the River Anduin, but
well, we just answered the question,
Yeah, like to me, the people who believe that are just as gullible as the people who thought that the Switch was going to be PS4 Pro power, So, all right, so Hylian Explorer asks, I'm sure you guys have heard the rumors about a third-party moving games from PlayStation over to Switch. What developer games would you want to see switch over?
I thought the rumor was about Capcom, so
I haven't heard those rumors at all.
So, I heard the rumor about Capcom saying that.
I mean, what PlayStation game is there that I would care if it got switched over to the Switch?
That's what I was gonna say that earlier. Like, what
I think
are you excited about?
No, it's not just a game that's on PlayStation. It says it's not just a game that happens to be on PlayStation.
Yeah, Witcher 3 is on more consoles than the PlayStation.
No, I know, but I mean, like, just on PlayStation then, Infamous or Uncharted.
It's not games that are out.
Bruh, come on, man.
From who? They're from who? I don't get
it.
It.
Third party, man. A third
party game who's developing a
PlayStation game.
apparently is changed his mind. He's gonna make a game on the Switch.
Street Fighter 5.
Oh,
I
I
guess.
heard that. I heard that. I thought it was an indie. I thought that was an indie developer.
Yeah, it's probably in India. Indies are third party
Yeah.
though, by the way.
Yeah.
No, I know,
yeah.
I know, but it's.
I thought you were
it's
gonna say like I thought you were gonna say Street Fighter 5 or something.
I would think it's a game that's not out. Because otherwise it makes no sense.
Look, I don't know.
So how would you know?
How indies
Because it
do
said
on
it's switching it over to the. It's not like it's porting; it's switching it. They're switching their development from PlayStation 4 to Switch to the NS.
Switch.
Yeah, it's gotta
Switch?
be indie then.
But I don't put any stock in it, and there's
Yeah, if it's
Yeah,
true,
but
it's
it's
probably
not to-
indie.
Yeah, it
it's
make
probably
any
like a
sense not
2D
to.
side-scrolling game or something that
Yeah.
Nintendo
Like
fans would
Cat
probably.
Scratch Fever. Cat
But-
Evolution.
It's hard to answer that question without
2016
knowing.
best game.
Yeah, I mean,
0 out of 10 needs more pause in it.
they're gonna leave PlayStation. Come on, man.
Lol.
Yeah, it was something about an indie developer, I believe, and I think he just switched his game to, what's
Yeah,
it called, Switch,
minor.
and then
It's
it's like, all right,
Not even a news story.
That makes sense.
It's a bunch of propaganda, man.
Some of
That's
those
all it
types
is.
of games do better on Nintendo consoles.
Mhm.
That makes-
like Shovel Knight.
I wonder
Right,
how-
good games.
I wonder how Ori.
Ouch.
God, I'm sorry.
Ori.
What do you think Ori would have done on the Wii U over the Xbox
I think it
One?
would have done
think
way
Ori
better
would've
than on
done
Xbox
fantastic.
One.
I got the.
I mean, the other way around. I mean, it would have done better then.
When did Ori drop?
Yeah,
Earlier
it's
this
not
year?
I think it was last year.
Was it last year?
I hope it came out this year. Then it could be on my Game of the Year list.
Maybe it was last year. I can't remember because of
Yeah, it was
the
2015. I'm
definitive
pretty sure.
edition.
But
Okay.
yeah, I bought the definitive edition. It was only $5 extra, and I'm just starting over. And I truly believe that's one of the best looking games of all time. Like it's just amazing.
It's gorgeous.
I gotta
And the
say that.
atmosphere and the gameplay is. Mwah.
Oh, it's perfect. Like Nintendo made. It's almost like Nintendo made it. It
Mhm.
came out in 2015.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like that 2D awesome art, but then like the trees are blowing, everything's moving. It looks just so
The animation
awesome.
is sick.
God, and the music's so good. Even though it reminds me of Child of Light, it's almost the same.
Child of Light, yeah, yeah.
It's almost the same score. All right, Brownie Takeshi asks, "How many plushies do you men have?" And I'm not sure what qualifies as a plushie.
You don't know what a plushie is?
I don't have any.
I don't know the exact where does the line for a plushie? Is it?
It's like well,
It's
what
like
do you,
like a
it's not
stuffed
figures.
animal.
It's not it's not a figure.
So what about Yoshi's Woolly World amiibo?
Yeah, that'd be
That's what I was gonna say.
And I have one.
They
I don't
I was
have
gonna
any
say that I
plushies.
actually own that are mine that I went out and bought for myself.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
He's over here
None.
lying. He walked into the Toys R Us in a trench coat and
I
bought
have
some
none.
plushies.
Well,
I
what
have
about
the
the
Yoshi
Yoshi Woolly World amiibo?
I have.
Amiibo, I have that one. That's it.
I don't have that. I don't have any.
I think I was thinking Terrell was gonna have some amount of plushie anime.
You don't have like
I have
waifu
figures. I don't have
plushies.
plushies. I have figures.
Okay.
I have plushies.
You don't have waifu
Yeah.
plushies.
Well, no, that's not a plushie. That's a body pillow.
I thought
I'm
as
not a
a
plushies guy. I'm more of a.
I don't think they really make like waifu plushies like that.
I'm sure there are.
Those chibi.
I'm more of a blow up.
Yeah, but those are like adorable ones. I'm not gonna... What is happening right now?
I'm more of a real doll kind of guy.
Real tough.
What is a real doll? Is my question.
Yeah, okay, act like
Isn't
you
that,
don't
isn't
know.
that a contradiction? Dolls aren't real.
Real
That's the
doll.
point.
Howard Stern used to advertise that like 15 years ago was a sponsor of his, and it was, I guess, replacement for a blow up doll where it felt like their skin felt real or something.
What
They
is
look-
happening?
Mechanical.
No,
Welcome
they're
to the
just-
Juice Loose podcast, X-rated edition.
he had one, and
He's still going.
the thing was
Explain it, Juice. Go ahead, explain it. Go ahead.
Was it? Did it feel real?
Children, cover your ears.
Yeah, that's why it's called a real doll.
But it was creepy as hell, dude. It was the creepiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Can we
It
Wow,
get
had
like
you
no
were
eyes.
free.
It would just stare off into space and then scare the shit out of you.
Yeah, they had it on the set. Anytime like major celebrities would go do interviews, and that stupid doll is like in the background. It's just it's so creepy.
I have no words for what's just happened right
But
now.
anyway,
Trump grabbed it by the. I couldn't help myself.
What? What was that?
there's a
No.
It was just sitting there, man. I had to take that one.
Yeah, like he took it. Jesus. He took it like you took it.
Did you guys
Oh
ever
my
see that Japanese
My chest hurt, man. Hold on.
that Japanese dude who made a working robotic?
The robot, yeah.
I mean, it looked like he put Scarlett Johansson.
Oh yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
literally
that
going to
was-
look up right now.
That was
And-
not cool.
I was
It was
They're not
closer. It looked way closer to Scarlett Johansson than I ever imagined when I heard about it. I was like, he's about
Yeah.
30-40% there. You know, another 50,
Yeah.
20 years or so, they might be there.
oh I can't wait.
It's
What?
it's
I was watching. I don't know. If it wasn't Dateline. It was what's that one that comes on Sundays? 60 Minutes.
60 minutes.
Yeah, and they were showing robot. We are way farther in robotics and like all that stuff than I realized.
Yeah,
like,
Skynet's happening.
it's happening, bro. Like we are close.
But
that was actually one of the topics in that segment. Was that Skynet was brought up in that segment. I was like, wow, we're really close to like
We are.
AI.
The funny thing about that Scarlett Johansson one was it like something happened and it like crushed a can or something, like a soda can. And it was, I think it was Double Toasted was talking about it, and just like, whoops, you know, that'd be bad because the dude made it look like Scarlett Johansson for a reason. And this thing like accidentally crushed it. It was pretty.
Welcome to the X-Rated Juiceless Podcast, everybody.
You don't want her caressing your joystick. You might get it crushed.
Can we turn Rumble off? I want to turn Rumble off.
Oh my gosh, where are we going? What are we doing?
All right, let's get back on
I
track.
blame
here.
everyone else. It's everyone else's fault.
Terrell's just derailed us.
Yo, how's it? What the fuck did I do?
Your waifu
Man.
dolls and plushies, man.
Everybody's a hater, man.
Let's go to Warlock 815. Should Nintendo go fully aggressive into the holiday season and drop the Wii U to $199 for the Mario Kart 8 bundle?
No.
Like, he believes it, get people on board. But at that point,
Why would you want to?
if you just want to get rid of your full stock of Wii U's,
That's like
I guess.
trickery.
Yeah.
But I think that they didn't do it for the 3DS when the new 3DS came out. But at some point, you got to drop the price of the system. But
I think because they stopped production that they're not going to drop that price.
Yeah.
Probably
They're just
not.
gonna get rid of them.
We're not gonna lose any money on this thing. We're just gonna get rid of what we have.
you don't think they'd
call it
rather
a
just
day.
get rid of all the stock quickly at 200 and
Well, I think they feel like they're selling it enough to where they're gonna get rid of it eventually anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
Why
it
lose
does
money?
do like 60 to 80,000 a month worldwide. I mean, that's not huge numbers, but it's still quite a bit of new.
That's enough to get rid of your stock without having to cut the price.
Mhm.
I think that's what they're thinking, man.
But for that price with Mario Kart 8, I think you'd get some people that might jump on board, even knowing the Switch is coming out in 4 months.
Yeah,
I don't
you
know.
get people on board, but what's the point at this point? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, why do it at this point? Maybe a year ago, you might try to
Yeah.
push.
They could have. I think they could have got to 20 million if they would have dropped it to 200 or 250 two Christmases ago. 250, 2 years ago, and then 200 last Christmas. They definitely would have got sales up to 220 million, but at what cost?
Yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, who cares? Like what the install base was, what
They would have sold more
at the end of the
software.
day.
Though. They would have got their software sales up, but
What software?
Damn.
Mario Kart 8.
Mario Kart and Smash. Yeah, you sold a few, maybe a million more copies.
What are you talking about? The attach rate's like 60% on Mario Kart. I mean, you would have sold another 3 million, probably 3-4 million.
At this point,
No, I mean now I'm talking about last year and 20.
Oh, you said last year.
Yeah,
Maybe, yeah.
maybe. All right, this one's from
But you're
Mizzy.
losing money on the hardware, so you've been, what again? We're like, do we want to lose money just to sell a few more copies of software?
Mhm.
Unless that software is making us money.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Mario Kart once it hit 1 million sold, it was all profit.
No, I mean like with the loss, of the to taking on the software on the hardware, and then selling more software. Is that software going to exceed that loss to where you're making a profit? If it's not, then why waste?
You think though, with the like Splatoon selling and Mario Kart and Smash, like those 3 games alone, it would have made up for it. But anyway, this is a question for Ms. T from the Hulkster. Says, How many
Oh, the Hulkster.
how many Piantas would you like to see in the new Mario game?
See, he's taunting me because I can't stand them damn Piantas.
So
Yeah, the
1,
worst-
2, 3.
Were you mad when you saw them in
the worst
Galaxy 2?
NPC character design Nintendo's ever made. Them damn Piantas, man.
You a hater.
They're the worst.
Were
They're
they
the
in
worst.
Galaxy 2? Where were they
Yeah,
at?
they were in one
Yeah.
of the galaxies. I forget the one where he had the
I think it's 2.
Yoshi and the Dash Pepper, and then he was like a beach.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
CT's just a hater. That's all he is.
Nah, man. I'm just.
I don't know if
speaking
they
the
actually went. Ooh, you.
truth. I would want to punch him in the face, man.
That's how I feel about Captain Falcon.
Oh man, you can't compare no Captain Falcon to no damn Pianta.
Why do you do that, man? That's disrespectful.
You tripping now?
Fine.
You
This
tripping?
man has punched a hole in the universe, dog. You leave the man alone.
I don't know what
anybody
Captain
else-
Falcon did to you when you were a kid. I don't know.
Oh, he
Yeah.
put his hand. He did something.
He grabbed you by the pups.
Man,
All
You
right,
worse than me today.
someone just called Mizuti a flip-flopper when it comes to Wii U.
what?
Sidekick.
Damn.
He just said you're kind of a flip-flopper when it comes to Wii U. I don't know why, other than what you just
What
said
does that
about
mean?
the sales. I don't know.
Oh, now we gotta wait. Shots fired.
Sidekick Cooper.
Yeah, please
T
explain.
versus
Elaborate.
T versus subscribers 2016.
But anyway, let's push through these questions here. I thought we'd be done by now.
I
So
don't know why you thought that. Come on now.
all right, Newsco1, do you guys think the Nintendo Switch will support something crazy like cross-platform gaming or streaming to other devices?
I'm like, how that's something. Why is that something crazy? Is my question.
Yeah, I don't know if that's crazy.
Cross-platform gaming, like that already happens with the with like the chess game and stuff. I mean, it's not a, so I mean, but as far as like major games, it ain't gonna happen.
We don't share.
But it's like, I mean, they don't even have Call of Duty from Steam to Windows 10 PC
Which is
users.
ridiculous. I can't. Apparently, they only had like 2 people. On
Juice was
Windows
so
10.
mad about that too.
Oh, I thought Robert bought the Windows 10 version. I was giving
No,
him an
I
earful.
bought the Steam version. No, they were giving refunds anyway, so I would have
Dead on
gotten it.
arrival.
PHS Duelist, longtime listener. He says, how do you feel about people wanting Wii U remasters, definitive editions on Switch, but shit on the Wii U for having no games, or just, I mean, you could just say for shitting on Wii U. Well, they want those remasters with take away the gamepad, take away that second screen because it's such an inconvenience. You know, it's, I don't know.
And then play him on another touchscreen, right?
It's like, why would you want to play Xenoblade without having the map just always right there and having to pause the game and stuff like that?
OJ.
I just don't get that. But I don't know. It's crap, and I don't respect certain people because of stuff like that.
I want some orange juice, man.
All right, Hylian Explorer. I don't know.
Random juice.
I don't know if this topic. Come on. I don't know if this topic is being saved for the return of Rob, but what dead game franchise would you like to see make a return? I'd love to see Zombies Ate My Neighbors come back with a similar visual style to Splatoon.
I feel like we get this question.
I want the
every-
rabbits.
It was Wave Race. I mean, Wave Race is my answer from now until it comes out. So
I want the rabbits to come back, man. Where's my Raven Rabbits game?
yeah, don't
Is
answer
that
that
It's at the
question.
bottom of
Again,
the
'cause I
Ubisoft barrel.
don't ever want to hear. I want Raven Rabbits to come back.
Seriously,
No,
what is wrong?
But I specifically mean, can we get another Rabbits Go
No.
Home?
Absolutely not.
You know the Rabbits Go Home? It was really awesome.
Robert, you're young.
They only came out, and it sold 1 million,
Robert,
but they
you're
never
young.
made a sequel. They
You're
never made
young.
a sequel.
You're young.
No more
Robert.
heroes, man. No more heroes.
Yeah.
Keep it moving.
All right, the River asks, will Zelda Breath of the Wild have some sort of DLC? I think that the area past the sea to the east of the map could open up, and also the southern area as well. I mean, that would be tough, because would it be a side story? Would it have Link? I mean,
Side story.
I wouldn't be totally.
Why are we sitting here talking about DLC and the game ain't even come out yet?
I know.
I'm not. So you trained y'all. To
I'm
be-
so sad right now.
I don't think you'll need DLC, so I don't really think there will be any.
Yeah, the game is so massive. It's just like I don't think I'll be caring about that. I don't think I'll be caring about any of
I
it. but
mean, They could do an expansion like 2 years later, the same graphics engine, and give you more, what we don't know the story, but something that could fill something in and just exist
You're a
in
Zelda, man. We can finally get You're a Zelda.
something.
Oh God.
All right. Brownie asks, would you be okay if any update that goes to Mario Kart 8 Switch should be a free update on Wii U? That's tough. I said that because if you're gonna make a upgraded Mario Kart 8 on the Switch, then just give me the option to play those tracks on the Wii U and not rebuy the whole freaking game. That's how I feel about it. I don't know about free, but that's why I think you just need to make Mario Kart 9 and just don't fuck with ports, like these upgraded ports.
The problem with bringing that stuff over is that, like, what if you went out and bought the game for $10 at in the used bin or something? Should you be getting like
let's just release it as
for a
paid
full
DLC for the Wii U.
Yeah.
That's how I would. That's the only way I'd be happy. I just really, it's coming from the same people that were the Eurogamer talking about they, leaked the Switch, so everyone's taking it as fact that these are upgraded ports and not new games, and I don't know. I just wouldn't be happy with that either way. But yeah, I would rather just buy DLC for the Wii U version than rebuy the game for $50-$60 on the Switch.
It depends.
And lose all your progress.
Well, that's the other thing. I'm curious if they're gonna actually do the cloud saving and stuff.
We'll see. All right, Little Cray, last question for him. In the future, if needed, will Nintendo release the supplementing computing device as the dock, or can you see that happening? I don't think it'd be the dock, because then you have different SKUs of docks, and then you have an extra dock that's not, doesn't have any extra power, and I think if they did that, if they went that route, just some kind of small little cube or something that plugs in to the dock and gives it power. I mean, I don't know how it would work. I don't know. I didn't look into the patent like that detail, but I don't know about
a Switch Pro situation.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just replacing the dock and then you got the old docks. It just, to me, that would be messy, and just plugging in a small like external hard drive size thing. If they're going to do that, to me, that makes more sense. Then you don't have to get rid of anything. You don't have extra like old docks lying around. I don't know. That's how I see it.
Probably.
I don't know. No one else really cares about. The only reason I even comment on it because Nintendo went ahead and they like took the patent like further than just the initial. Like it's all the way through. It's a done deal patent.
Yeah.
They didn't just register, like they didn't just put an application, like it's finalized and everything. So I think they're doing something with it. All right, so Terrell said something really interesting in his analysis video of the Switch third-party listing. This is from the Game Idea guy.
Okay.
He said that companies shouldn't make Switch versions of games and just make games for the Switch itself, as late ports of games usually don't do well. But the bread and butter of the industry back in the day, that was the bread and butter. Sega would get one version, Nintendo would get the different, but similar version, and vice versa. Why do you guys think that this has changed and become a bad thing? So what he's saying is, instead of just getting a port of Arkham Knight, you would get an Arkham Knight game on the Switch that was kind of different than the other versions. To me, that was always kind of dumb. Like, if you watch the Console Wars on YouTube, those guys are great, and they show you like how dumb some of these changes could be between one game to the other, and it's just like, why? Like, why does this game have this like thing and the other game sucks because it doesn't? So I think that was just always going to go away. But as far as Terrell, I don't know what do you mean by make Switch versions instead?
It's pretty much the short version is kind of like how T believes the Switch is going to be like the Wii, where the Wii had games that were specific third-party games that were specifically tailored to the Wii and not like ports of like 360 and PS3 games. That's what I meant, and that's the way that's the reason why I said it like that. Is that because to me, having the Switch version of a game is essentially like having a Wii U version of a game, and nobody fucking bought the Wii U version of the game. But having Wii U games made by a certain developer is a different story. like you had Wii games. Like you had a Wii Call of Duty, and then a Call of Duty port to the Wii.
Well, is that true? You
I don't know
also
if
have
Call of
Black
Duty's
Ops.
already
You had
identical,
Black
'cause
Ops and World
Black
at
Ops
War.
was identical, other than it didn't have kill cams.
Okay, fine. You had a No More Heroes in comparison. Goddamn, I forget the Suda 51 game that's on the PS3. The All Is Dead, or I forget what it's called. But that's what I mean. I mean
Okay.
games that are tailor made specifically to the
And
console.
maybe it could be, let's say, instead of making a game that to me that looks has no interest to me at all, but let's say Watch Dogs 2, instead of making the same big open world GTA clone, they could just be in that universe and maybe make a different style game. Is that what you're kind of saying?
Okay, it's like how Sony has like all the Persona and Persona games, and we have Tokyo Mirage Sessions like that. It's still the same general gameplay style, but it's not like the same game. Because I think when it comes to Nintendo, at least within these recent generations, it's been like a whole, well, the specs don't allow me to do certain things. And with the Wii sold so well, so they said, all right, look, some of these games we can't just do ports, so we just got to make new experiences for the Wii owners, and that's why some of those third-party games ended up selling. It's the same kind of thought.
Play action or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that the Switch is going to be that far behind, though. That it won't.
I don't think it'll be
just
that
get the
far
port.
behind, but I still would prefer games like that. Where
I don't think that's gonna really happen though.
No, I mean that was just a thought process.
I think that's going to happen because they have the excuse to be like, well, it's not as powerful, it's not powerful enough.
Yeah.
So you're
It's
going
a
to
cop out.
Yeah, it's a good cop out. So I think that's going to you're going to get third parties exclusive games that'll only be on the Switch. I think.
I'd rather
It'll make it more appealing.
Yeah.
Just make an exclusive game, but I don't know, like not get Call of Duty because
No, I think Call of Duty was on the Wii, son.
Yeah.
You're gonna get Call of Duty. I don't think that's gonna be a problem. You're gonna
and
get
like Dead
You're
Space,
just talking about like other franchises.
yeah.
you
I
know,
just meant like
like
maybe
Dead
a
Space
Witcher may not
Extraction,
come.
like Dead Space Extraction. Like it might have been cool and played pretty cool, but it definitely wasn't like the original game. I mean, I'd rather just have the original game. The Wii was just so much more underpowered, and I don't think the Switch is going to be like that.
No,
so I don't,
no, it's not even close
and
to
it
that.
doesn't have enough different things. Like it basically just plays like it's just portable. So I don't think there's really going to be that gimmick or anything that they really could take advantage of. But as far as like Persona and stuff, instead of just porting on Persona 5, make Tokyo Mirage Session 2 or something, like I could see that. But I think for the most part, the ports are gonna be there, and some of the developers are already saying that it's a real nice.
I think you're
system.
gonna get a Persona 5 port actually.
Well, yeah, no, I was just using that as an example of like
maybe get
know,
both. Maybe get a port and a
you
new
get
game.
both.
yeah.
That'd be great. And I don't expect the Switch to have every single third party.
I think some people do. I think there's a lot of people that expect it.
Yeah,
I saw somebody was like, "Oh man," somebody put a comment on one of my videos talking about, "Oh, no Red Dead 2 and no Dead Space and not Dead Space, Mass Effect Andromeda, dead on arrival." I'm like, really? Those two sequels are gonna kill the Switch?
Yeah,
Like,
here's
come
the
on.
thing. Don't expect like Red Dead Redemption and Mass Effect probably. Like if you're expecting all that stuff, don't expect Titanfall 3 because Call of Duty is going to have enough trouble, finding that audience on the Switch. Even if it has a huge install base, it still might only sell 1 million, 2 million copies. You can't have Call of Duty, Battlefield, and Titanfall 3 on the Switch if because that's just oversaturation when stuff like that. So don't expect to get every first-person shooter, every open world game, because it's just the audience. And unless the audience somehow this thing just flies off the shelves and just sets new records and has PS4 like numbers in the first 2 years, I would just warning people, don't expect every single game, even if it could handle it and porting's easy and all that. You can't have too many games competing, and then you're competing against Nintendo first-party games. It's never going to be that perfect system.
No, because Nintendo makes a lot of first-party games. They make a lot. That's why third parties have said that before. They don't like competing with Nintendo games, and they like to be able to put their game out when they want to, not have to wait till Nintendo says it's okay, because their games have to breathe. So that's why those other consoles are third-party boxes, because there's no competition for the most part.
Yeah, and then exclusive Xbox and Sony games can't compete with the third-party games. Like Halo gets just absolutely.
Yeah, that last Halo was not.
It got
up to par.
Beat out by Black Ops 3. Like, that shouldn't happen.
Nope.
And it got beat by Splatoon. Halo 5 did. So, and I don't think Gears is going to light the world on fire. I really don't.
Not.
So, anyway, that's it for the questions. So I want to thank everyone for submitting those, and everybody who's tuned in. We're going to get the final thoughts and get the hell out of here. So I'll start with Robert for a change.
Okay, so I saw Hacksaw Ridge.
Oh my God, this dude's
every time.
Doctor Strange.
Welcome to the movie podcast, guys.
Hacksaw Ridge was amazing. Doctor Strange was very good, but it was annoying because I couldn't pay attention because I had these two dickheads next to me talking. Oh well.
You work at the cinema and you didn't do anything about that.
Well, I wasn't in uniform. I was just watching it.
So you couldn't go get some like.
This dude says final thoughts, and this guy opens up a whole new discussion.
I know. Anyway, he always talks about movies he saw.
So
I'm fucking working for your Fantastic Beasts.
Final thoughts. So,
well, this week though, Thursday I'll watch Arrival. Hopefully that's good. And then next week, Fantastic Beasts on. And then
I actually want to watch Arrival too. It looks pretty cool.
Me too.
And that's really it. I've been playing Paper Mario Color Splash, still super fun. Played some Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, remastered of the COD 4s, and Timefall 2 and Battlefield 1. Too many shooters, but what are you gonna do?
Play
yeah.
I still Super Paper Mario.
Put the controller down.
But the whole thing is they're all good for what they all are. You know what I mean? And I want to give them all fair
Except
shots.
you bought Call of Duty on the PC, so you have a way smaller user base. So in a couple months, there's going to be no one in the lobbies.
Hashtag shade juice.
I just can't play that many similar games at the same time. Like first person.
I get you.
That'd be some more variety for me.
I can't even play Splatoon anymore because I'm just so burnt out on online shooters. But Robert, honestly, my buddy, when Black Ops 1 came out, he bought it on PC. It was before Christmas, so the game comes out in November. There was 0 players in normal lobbies. There was a few hundred in like custom lobbies, like all custom game modes. But that's what you're looking at with PC with Call of Duty. So
damn. Well, at least people still there on World at War.
Master Race.
I don't know why people are there still there on World at War. So I don't know why.
Well, you're talking about custom zombie maps. That's not what Call of Duty is for most people.
Yeah. Oh well. But hey, Paper Mario people, pick that up. And
somebody need to.
Oh God.
See, you flip flop on the Wii U.
Mm-hmm. You didn't buy it?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Of course I got Paper Mario.
I know.
Then what you asking for?
Everybody go out and buy a PS4 Pro,
Oh, shit.
We're all gonna support the Pro guys.
And the VR and the
and the Slim.
You know what? You know how much
to the 20-minute long final thoughts, guys.
Yeah, you know how much the dual move controllers cost?
How much?
$99.99 for the new to go with the VR.
That's stupid. They should be
$100.
like $20. They should be like $20.
Nobody wanted to move when it came out for its generation. Why? You expect people to go back and buy the mode controllers, man, for a new device.
That wasn't supported at all.
Full price, like gouging. You're trying to gouge people.
That's
with that
ridiculous. So, Terrell, final thoughts.
I like video games. Next.
You saw Doctor Strange. I forget what you said about it.
Oh yeah, I liked it. It's a good film.
How was the villain?
He was cool.
He's not really. The villain's not really. He's all right. He's better. He's better. He's okay considering Marvel's other villains. I mean,
that's the Chief from Casino Royale.
Yep.
Why did you turn my ending into a? I tried to do a short ending. These fuckers took me into this movie podcast shit.
Mezza T, I know you're playing Xenoblade the other night. You beat the game yet?
No, I'm just grinding, man. Just grinding. I'm close. I'm
gotta
close
be
to
at 60 by now, or close.
I'm not actually.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I'm at 54, I think. 54.
What are you doing?
You got your flight module, right?
Look, man, I'm enjoying the game. I ain't in no hurry. You know what I'm
should
saying?
be.
Ain't like I got something else to play on the Wii U.
We did play Smash Brothers for a few hours though, and had fun the other
I
night.
still got Color
It was
Splash to go
awesome.
through.
Well, no, he didn't play. He just got his hand.
He was there. I don't know if he was in the
Oh,
lobby.
he's trying to throw shit.
All I'm gonna say is there was a lot of Robin there. Where it goes.
Yeah, and there was also a lot of lag in there.
Yeah.
No, hey, listen. That was at.
If I'm so bad at Smash, I'm sure I should still be in matches when y'all ain't. Oh, you sidelines.
Okay. You
Can't win them all.
You talking about that one match? Yeah, okay.
Honestly, I wasn't even,
One match? Oh, it was only one match? Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I wasn't even paying attention honestly to winning and losing. I was just having a blast.
I won the
Yeah,
last match.
that's what I do, but y'all wanna come
It's because you're a piece of
podcast.
shit, Rob.
You
That's
gotta,
all you want.
I put people on blast.
So T, what's your final thoughts?
That I'm amazing. Go check out my latest video.
Hashtag T Dick. That's what I'm saying.
Check out my latest video. It's about 3 weeks too late, as you'll probably notice watching it, but it's a good video about the software and stuff that everybody's already gone over. But check that out, and get out there and vote tomorrow. You know, I want to have a country. I want to wake up to a country Wednesday, so get out there and vote, folks. All right. And yeah, that's it.
Fun podcast. It started off a little dry, but I think we got loosened up a bit at the end here.
We got the cocaine in.
Yeah, but yeah,
Hey
good
man,
stuff.
it's on the ballot. That free weed. You get that weed.
Well, yeah, because you actually passed the shit around this time, T. You always keep being stingy and
It's on the
shit.
ballot, man. It's on the ballot.
I just say no to drugs.
He's lying.
So final thoughts, hashtag PS4 no, as in no thank you. And yeah, I was actually playing some not old, but this last week I played some more Rise of the Tomb Raider. I played Ori and the Blind Forest, Grand Theft Auto. I played Zombie U. What else? We played Smash, Mario Maker. I made a whole nother level, really well-designed level. Of course, only one person beat it. Like 4 people played it. It's been up for like 2 days or something. Not a lot of action going on, but still having fun with that. And so yeah, I'm waiting for Shantae impatiently, and that's still over a month away.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. Good podcast. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll be back next week with the 1/16th edition. And Rob said he'll be back, so look for us then. See you guys. Peace.